Hello, good evening and welcome, or benvenuti in Italia, as they would say over in Italy. Here we are for round 5 of the BSR MX5 series. I'm joined by Tyler Manning for his commentary debut tonight here at Monza, and really looking forward to this evening. It's our only away round of the BSR MX5 series. Tyler, thank you for stepping in on short notice. Unfortunately, Jack Oliphant, our regular commentator, isn't very well. But Tyler's stepped up to the plate. So, Tyler, are you looking forward to this evening's racing?
Oh, I'm absolutely stoked for this. Going to Monza in Italy, this is fantastic for a place like Mazda's. They're just perfect for these types of tracks.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of speed tonight. There's going to be a lot of drafting as well. We'll see packs forming, potentially a mixture of pros, pro-ams, and AMs as well. Qualifying will be important here, which is just getting underway behind us. But also as well, we've got the reverse grids. Obviously, tonight in the BSR, it's 4 15-minute races, 3 of which are done by reverse grid. We've got about 26 or 27 competitors signed up, so it'll be so important, even if you win race 1. If you get a full reverse grid, you might be in a lot of trouble for race 2. You'll have a lot of cars to overtake there. So we're going to have a jam-packed night of excitement lined up for us. Some big braking zones too, so we're going to have some great racing. But yeah, really looking forward to this. Hopefully we can get some championship standings up soon, and then we can go through those for you before jumping on in. So, without further ado, we've got Adam Delmont, our current championship leader for Team Excite. He's currently on 1,304 points. Jason Cupelo, 155 points behind, if my maths holds true, for Swift Cooper Racing. And then you've got Andy McEwen in P3. He's got the 1 car next to his name. He's our defending champion. And then it's Tom Griffiths in 4th, Nick Clibborn's 5th. And he was fastest in practice this evening. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out with the draft. Jamie Culliford leading Pro-Am in P6. We got Kip Stevens, Michael Seal in P8. And then Adam Fox leading AM in P9 in the Ennio Fungus design livery. Tyler, I'm sure you can tell us a few things about that in just a moment. And then James Neve rounding out our top 10 just there. So really looking forward to tonight's racing. We've got Sam J. Smith in P11, Adam McNally in P12, still racing through the pain barrier with that shoulder injury just there. Craig McDonald, the Pro-Am, 2nd place in Pro-Am in P13. You got Douglas Stewart in 14th, Paul Cook in P15 for Simtech Racing, Lee Holmes in 16th and Fortulla in 17th, Lars Fisher in P18. Then you got Chris Warner in 19th and Fiona Siddons in P20. Luke Cooper's in 21st, Mark Oliver in 22nd, Julian Schroer in P23, and also Leon Jenkins in 24th. He's been showing some great pace so far in the Pro-Am category. You've then got Colin Sansom in P25, another Ennio Fungus liveried car. Then you've got the 88 tech cars of Glenn Humberstone and Craig Shelton, P26 and P27. Chris Dixon in 28th, and then Liam Stimpson in P29. Alistair Hatcher is in P30. And then Mark Van Dalen in P31. Now, his Year 1 teammates will be quite grateful. He's not here for tonight's racing. He's been taking out a few drivers along the way. You've got Luke Bullen in P32, Liam Silkston, Wayne Douglas, and Simon Robson rounding out our points finishers. We've not yet seen Andrew Withers, Lewis Benning, or Robert Plumley yet this season, but they are signed up, so we might very well see them in the second half. And as I talk about second half, we are now halfway through the BSR MX5 Championship. We've been rattling through the weeks very, very quickly. We're off to Knock Hill next week. Unfortunately, I'll be missing Knock Hill next week. Hopefully, Jack will be feeling a bit better. And then it's off to Alton Park for our only visit of the season there, in round 7, before we then do our second visits of the season to Donington Park on the Grand Prix layout, Silverstone National, and then Brands Hatch Grand Prix to finish the season out, just like the BTCC does. We've got just over 11 minutes of practice left. Tyler, would you like to take us through our championship leader, Adam Delmont's stats and see how he's getting on?
Sure, let's see what he's been accomplishing this season. Quite a lot has been happening with him. He's currently first with 300,004 points, and he has won 3 races, and 6 podiums, and he hasn't DNF'd. That is incredible for a race like this, where there's so many contact with these little Mazdas out there.
So, as we head on over, so, as I say, Fun Beauty in Italia, it's time to head to qualifying in Monza. And this will be probably one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season because of just how fast the track is. It is a temple of speed with 10 minutes to go. It will be so important to know who your friends are, who you can draft from, because you've got some long straights and you've got some fast braking zones. You can see the cars there darting around, moving around in the Ascari chicane. I'm going to butcher every Italian pronunciation tonight, but here we are at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, Italy, and I'm looking forward to, as I say, absolutely butchering every single pronunciation. But yeah, James Neave has just set provisional pole. He's the first driver to set a representative lap time. Michael Stills in P2 with Leon Jenkins in P3 and Andy McEwen in P4. But the times are becoming thick and fast, and with the draft as well, we might see some funny games being played coming out of the Parabolica about track position.
Definitely a lot of teamwork going around with Year 1 and 88 Tech. A lot of that being helped around because there are so many long straights there, Reese.
Yeah, the draft will be a key feature tonight for sure. And so packs forming. It'll almost be like the old Formula 1 races of the 1960s, where people will be forming. Obviously, Monza, home of the closest finished in Formula 1. I think 5 cars in the 1966 race, all crossing the line, pretty much a hat throw apart. Hopefully, we'll see some of that later on as we go through our 4 races. Hopefully, we won't see too much carnage, but you've got the big braking zone into turn 1, which will be very interesting when it comes to the start of our race. Obviously, a standing start here in the Mazdas. It's a long run down to P1. Down to turn 1, sorry, I should say. So it might not make sense to actually be on pole. Our pole sitter might find themselves getting swamped by the time they get down there. As we can see, the 2 Year 1 cars there already starting to work together here in qualifying. James Neave, still our pole sitter.
Yeah, he's working with Andy McEwen as they pull each other along this long front straight. It's just incredible that these Mazdas are able to work so well on these sort of tracks. Like Monza, these long sort of straights just give it just that much more excitement.
It will be very close racing tonight, Tyler, as we say, and it's going to be so crucial, especially who gets pole position, who can get away in lead packs. You might not necessarily have the speed of the car in front of you, but if you can stick with them in their draft is the great equaliser right here. So we might see some mixed up, some jumbled up results here in the Mazda. It's the fastest track on the calendar, and as I say, already at the halfway spot here in the championship. Adam Delmont will be looking to shore up his lead against the mightily quick Jason Cooper, and there'll be plenty of other stories developing throughout the races, I'm sure, Tyler.
It's just so impressive that they can get around. I have trouble just getting around Monza, especially turn 1, without getting caught up in a crash. It's just absolutely annoying for anybody.
hopefully our drivers don't suffer the same fate, but I'm sure we'll see plenty of late braking moves. Obviously we saw Daniel Ricciardo passing Valtteri Bottas, an incredibly late braking move, and I think it was 2016. And again, you know, we'll see our drivers, maybe if somebody's got more confidence, maybe a bit more skill on the brake pedal, we'll see some very, very late braking moves, and we should see some thrilling racing tonight, as we see Jason Cooper in the 5-star racing machine making his way through the Ascari chicane here on his lap. And we've got Nick Clibbers there just going off. Obviously the BSR MX5 series has the rule of if you damage your car in qualifying, that's it, you can't request a new one. You've got to either do your repairs or sit out the rest. So we've got a replay just coming up just now. It looks like he just outbrakes himself. Yeah, carries a bit too much speed in, bounces on over the curb, and round he goes. He should be okay from there though, although obviously this lap time won't count. Andy McEwen's jumped up to pole position with James Neve just taking second place, as I say that, and Jason Cooper third.
Those sausage curbs are going to be a huge problem for the Mazdas. They can take it, but take it the wrong angle and you're going to spin out.
Indeed,
horrifying.
Tyler, why don't you take us round a lap with Adam McNally? Hopefully we can ride on board with him as we come through the Parabolica just here, and I say, talk us through the lap.
Alright, so heading on to the front straight. It takes quite a while in these Mazdas, but we'll get there eventually. As we're looking for one of our braking zones, I'm guessing it's going to be the 100-meter or 150. There it is. As they brake late, they come and hit first apex. That's a huge chunk. And hitting the next one, you got to get the acceleration on quickly in order to get a great exit. And they're going to get a nice toe there at Pinelli. He's got James Smith right in front of him as they head across this nice right-hand corner into the second chicane. They got to get this pretty damn straight on. Oh, very nicely done. Don't want to dip. Ooh, very fast. Oh, he's backed out. As he just got the fastest sector, he just backed out, unfortunately. Definitely getting your tires onto that gravel on the exit for the second chicane is really important not to do. Especially, you don't want to get an off track. But apparently, Nick Williams didn't think that was appropriate.
So, as we run under the bridge, under the old banking, and I've been to Monza, I've watched a race here, and that old banking is seriously steep. It takes a lot of effort to get to the top of it. A lot of history around here at Monza. This BSR series is going to be great, so we've got just 3 minutes left of qualifying, so probably about 2 laps left for our drives. It takes about 2 minutes 12 to do a lap here for our front runners in the MX5s. You can see the cars are definitely sitting line and stern down the backstretch, everyone making sure that they're getting plenty of tow. As Liam Stimpson runs slightly wide, again, maybe playing a few games for track position here as he comes out the Parabolica. He's helped Sam Smith out there. And again, he'll be hoping to get that favour back. Sam Smith, currently our pole sitter, with a 2 minutes 12.329. Leading the way from Andy McEwen, James Neve, and then Jason Cooper in P4 with Michael Seal in P5. So a good showing from Team Year 1. 3 out of the top 5 being Year 1 drivers. But Sam Smith in the charts.
As you can see, the top 7 are within 1 second of each other. That is incredible for that amount of detail for these drivers. You gotta get it right around here, because there's no places to make it up. There's only straights. You gotta get a good exit on it.
It's that ultimate trade-off, and I'm sure the guys have been working hard on their setups this week. You've got to be so precise on the brakes, and you've got to still carry good speed through the corner. Because of how long the straights are, and these MX-5s being momentum cars, you've got to be able to carry the speed out of the corner and down the next straight. So there's very much a compromise in every single corner on the track. as you can see the big run from the second Lesmo corner down the hill, again under that old banking. We're on board with Leon Jenkins, who's currently leading the way in our AM category and doing a great job of it. You can see him taking all the track on the entry to the Ascari chicane and then taking a nice and smooth run through. You can try and take as much of the sausage curb as you can, but those curbs do bite. They will launch up into the air. And then it's down the run, down the backstretch. And it's such a fast exit for Ascari. The minimum speed is so high as he's running on down to the Parabolica. Such an iconic corner. Again, using all the track on the entry. And again, it's one of those corners where you've got to try and keep the speed up on the entry, on the apex. And it's such a long run around the outside there, trying to minimise the steering input, minimise the speed gain as you run over to the line. He keeps it to the right hand side as he heads to the start-finish line, or moving back over to the left on the way down to the Variante Resfio chicane. So yeah, Leon leading the AM category right now. And then I believe we've got Liam Stimson, who's actually leading our Pro-Am category, who's right behind him just there as well. So I'm leading Pro-Am right now, showing what a great job Leon Jenkins is doing. Douglas Stewart we're on board with. He's second in Pro-Am right now in the 579 car. As we're heading through, we've got 20 seconds left of qualifying. We'll see who can improve. Can we have any big movers at the front of our grid?
Well, time's running out for all of them, so they only have 10 seconds to get a final lap in as we head on with Craig Schill and his train of 88 techs plus a Simtech driver. As they cross the line, they'll not get another chance, unfortunately. That is it for them. But we do see the year one drivers of Andy McEwen with... Is that James Neve? Yes, thank you to Graham Tesford for telling me. As they have been pairing up together, and they will get a final time across the line. Will it be an improvement? Will one of them get a pole position ahead of Smith? We'll just have to see. As they come around through the final corner, they'll have to get a great launch out of here. As Andy McEwen gets through. It's gonna be tight. Let's see. Will it be... Unfortunately, no. Damn.
Andy
Little biased year one.
Andy McEwen staying P2, and that's something I find as well, Todd. It's so hard not to be biased towards year one. Obviously, we're both year one drivers as well as year one broadcasters, so it's very hard to stay completely impartial. But Sam J. Smith looks like he's going to be securing our pole position. You've got Andy McEwen in P2, and then Tom Griffiths rounding out our top three. We'll have the full grid in a moment. We've still got some drivers heading on around the track. Craig Schill, I think he missed the checkered flag just there, but I could very well be wrong. And he says putting along his 88 Tech teammate just there as well. We'll just see who's left to finish laps, and then we'll head over to the grid. Oh, and Jason Cooper out of nowhere, there's pole position. Yeah, the 5-star racing car, and I think he's had a tow for year one team member as well. But Jason Cooper makes it to pole position at 2 minutes 12.272. Gets pole position by just under 600ths of a second ahead of Sam J. Smith. So a last gasp lap there from Jason Cooper, using the draft, getting to front of the field. And that relegates Sam Smith into second and Andy McEwen down into third. And it pushes Michael Seal down out to P6. He's one of our last few drivers out on track right now. As we're going to head over to the grid, we'll have 2 minutes of gridding up just here. So, the full rundown of our grid this evening. So, Jason Cooper in P1. Sam J. Smith in second place, with Andy McEwen in third. Tom Griffiths for Team Excite in P4, with James Neve rounding out our top five. Michael Seal finishes row 3 with Luke Cooper in P7 for Swift Cooper Racing. Adam McNally in P8. Nick Clibbans starts row 5 with Leon Jenkins in P10. Leon Simpson in P11 with Douglas Stewart in P12. Simon Robson in P13 with Jamie Gulliford in P14. And then on row 8 we've got Craig Schill and Fiona Siddons, with Mark Oliver in P17, and then we've got our non-qualifiers just hitting, so they will grid up via iRating order, so provisionally so, and we'll see how they line up. That should be Lars Fischer in P18. It's just changing, so iRacing's just sorting out just out for us just now, but provisionally speaking, we're waiting for the graphics to load. But that should be Lars Fischer in P18. We've then got Adam Delmont, our championship leader, who hasn't set a time in qualifying. And I'm not sure if that's due to potentially a penalty or if that's due to him just not getting a clean lap in. He's in P19. Kip Stevens in P20. Luke Pullen in P21. Liam Silkston in P22. And then Julian Schroer in P23. Running out of grid is Colin Sampson in P24. Glenn Humston P25. And Chris Dixon in P26. We seem to have had a small issue when it comes to setting the grid. So earlier in the broadcast, you might have remembered me saying, Tyler, that one of the trickier elements of BSR MX5s is the standing start and the draft on the run down to P1. Well, we appear to have gridded up on the back straight on the run to Ascari and have a pace car, which makes me think our drivers with limited experience might have to do a rolling start. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, Jason Cooper will be taking the field round to the green flag. It's a curveball that's been thrown. What are your predictions for race 1, Tyler?
I really don't. I'm just really excited and nervous. I'm more nervous probably than the drivers. Just sitting here watching all of them. It's just going to be really exciting. And of course, rolling start. BSR has only had like standing starts with these Mazdas. So a rolling start is going to be unpredictable for a lot of the drivers that are not starting at the front like Jason Cooper. So there could be a lot of chaos in turn 1.
So the field will start to roll in just a second. The pace car will lead us around and then it'll pull off to the right hand side as we come out of the Parabolica corner. And then Jason Cooper will choose when he's going to plant his foot. And hopefully we all get away cleanly and through the first chicane very, very well. I'm going to take this opportunity as we've got probably about 40 seconds or so until the green flag flies. Just say hello to everybody who's watching through YouTube. Please do get involved in the YouTube comments throughout this evening. I'll try and do shout outs where we can, and please do cheer on for your favourite driver. If you've not already, please do hit that like and subscribe button as well to see more BSR action. Obviously, we've got the MX5s on the Tuesday evening, and then we've got the TCRs as well on the Thursday night too. But I'm Reece Saunders, this is Tyler Manning, and we're about to go racing in race 1 at Monza.
Oh, everybody is anxious to get going. They probably haven't done this in Mazdas for a while. Porsche safety car is rolling away, and he'll pull off into the pits as Jason Cooper now leads the field. This is incredible for an Italian start like here in Monza. And they'll soon get started, go on the race, get the start going.
And there we are, the pace car is down into pit lane. We're heading just under the gantry just now. When will Jason Cooper plant his foot? He's got Sam J. Smith on the outside, engine notes rise, and we are underway racing here at Monza for round 1 at Monza. And here we are, charging on down. You can see 3 wide already at the back of our pack. Jason Cooper looks like he's got away well, but the draft effect is there. You can see the field starting to bunch up already. They pick their braking point, they brake. So far, so good, no contact. Sam Smith goes round the outside of Jason Cooper and gets clear as they run out of the first chicane towards Curva Grande. Contact at the back. There's 3 or 4 cars. That looks like I can see Lars Fischer's involved there as well. Kip Stevens looks like he's involved too. Plenty of contact. Everyone's got back rolling again. That'll really jumble our pack up, especially towards back. We had a lot of cars who didn't qualify as Jason Cooper's looking now up the inside of Sam Smith down into the second chicane, and he gets the position back already. You've got Tom Griffiths in P3, Andy McEwen, Adam McNally side by side through the second chicane as we're heading towards down to the first Les Mountain. It's still McEwen in P4 and now McNally and Seal side by side. Tight racing so far. Instance at the back separating our field. But it looks like everybody's still running. Nobody's DNF just as of yet, using all of the track out of the Lesmos. It's fast, it's frantic, it's MX5's, Tyler. This will be a baptism of fire for your commentary career.
Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Still side by side racing in the back. As Sam Smith goes into the lead ahead of Jason Cooper. That was an incredible move. Oh, but they gotta worry. Oh, big wiggle by Sam Smith as Jason Cooper gets ahead. Oh, that's a slowdown. It looks like, but that was a huge wiggle, and they're still side by side for the lead. Incredible.
Tom Griffiths now going through to the point. I think that might be our 5th lead change on lap 1 already. We've got Andy McEwen up the inside of Jason Cooper. I think we're going to need a glass of water after this race because I'm going to be out of breath for sure. After, I think, 5 lead changes on lap 1, it's going to be Tom Griffiths who just about takes the lead at the end of lap 1, ahead of Jason Cooper and Andy McEwen in P3. They're now 3 wide down the front stretch. Sam Smith's in there as well. We've got some bump drafting as well for Andy McEwen, right on the bumper of Tom Griffiths there. Braking, where do you choose to brake, especially when you're draft affected as well? You can see the pack stringing out down there. Everybody's going to be jostling around in the slipstream, and the aero pouring off the back of these cars. What a first lap. We've already done it. iRacing's predicting we'll have 7 laps of action here, and if every lap runs like lap 1, we're in for a treat.
Jason Cooper is not messing around. He wants to lead back again against Sam Smith, and they're still going too wide in the background. Jason Cooper is now ahead into the second chicane as they jump over these chicanes. The Sacha curbs are playing like they are nothing to these drivers.
As we go through the first Lesmo corner, they're tight, they're technical. It's probably the most technical corners on the track. It looks like Jason Cooper's made a small gap over Tom Griffiths in P2. Andy McEwen's in 3rd, Sam Smith 4th, and Michael Still ran out of top 5. Giving a shout out as well to Liam Stevenson, leading Pro-Am in P10, with Liam Jenkins in P11, leading the Am category as well. We've got to look all the way back to P16 for Mark Oliver, who's 2nd in Am. Jamie Gulliford has standout drivers so far in Pro-Am this season. It's currently only running P14. And Adam Delmont, our championship leader, not qualifying, he's in P15. This could have massive title implications. Obviously, Jason Cooper, 2nd in the championship, probably 1st in the race. He's got a half a second gap over Tom Griffiths. He'll be hoping that the cars behind Tom start to attack him and he can try and inch away and break away from this draft train.
What a view is this? Jason Cooper's rear bumper, and it's just a train of Mazdas behind him. Because he won't get away from these guys. They'll be drafting right on him. And they'll get the opportunity to do it down in turn 1. As we see McEwen go for another position draft. Look at that. It's a bit of NASCAR around here.
It's almost like Daytona. It's almost like Talladega Nights, to be fair. You've got Tom Griffiths, who was losing momentum down the straight. And then in kind of the 2nd, 3rd, he picks up the speed and he gets up the inside of the Variante El Rettifio. Again, I promise you I'd butcher some Italian pronunciations tonight. And it's now side by side as they head down the Curva Grande. We've got the field going too wide. We can see a bit of smoke from the back. Looks like Simon Robson's just lost a lot of positions as well. So maybe contact at the start of lap 3. Lars Fischer currently running fastest lap of race with 2 minutes 12.4. But side by side as we head down to the Variante del Roggia, and I say just about Jason Cooper getting through to lead ahead of Tom Griffiths. Andy McEwen very aggressively looking in P3 though. I think this will go down to the wire. This might even be a drag race or a line here with 5 laps to go, Tyler.
Oh, I am hoping that it finishes like this. But there's so much racing contact in the background as we see Adam Benelli just trailing behind this train. He has so much work to do in order to get to the front. He's just working on getting there slowly and surely. But this is just incredible.
Yes, Adam Delmont not qualifying. He's made it all the way up to 13 now. He'll be hoping for a favourable reverse grid position. We'll have a spinning wheel of fortune after this race. You can see the cars jumping and bouncing around through the Escorish gate. You can see them digging up gravel. David Coulthard once memorably crashed here on his way to the grid. Adam McNally looking to go down the outside of Michael Seal on the way down to the Parabolica, but he's got the draft from the cars in front. Seal's out of line and he's out of draft. And yeah, McNally just gets clear on the way down. But McNally goes wide. Seal gets back up the inside. It's almost a switchback. Oh, they're going to touch on the exit. Not quite. We've got Nick Clibbers keeping a watching brief in P7. And that just lets our front four of Cooper, Griffiths, McEwen and Smith just about get away. Again, the draft's going to close up. It's Cooper and Griffiths swapping here. And McEwen darts to the inside. The track does narrow on the way down there. Hopefully he doesn't get in the grass. They carefully pick their braking zones out. And Andy McEwen hits the front of our field for the first time this evening. 4 laps to go, Tyler. This is going to be a blockbuster of a night for sure.
They're not even finished yet. There's 4 laps to go, and they're driving like it's the last lap. Oh, contact in the background. Somebody's spinning. And there we go. It is just super close. And McEwen is just leading the pack to the second chicane. And we see Jason Cooper. He's looking for a move. He's got the inside line, and he's done it. He's done it. And McEwen is not going to give up. He's going to look for an opportunity for the next corner. He's got the inside, and he's done it. Well done. They have gone back and forth. This is incredible.
So this is a high-speed game of chess. It's drivers trying to figure out where they want to be on the final lap, because that'll be where it boils down to. It's, do you want to be first, do you want to be second on the run down to the first chicane? And I think the important bit will be, do you want to be leading or not as we go out of the Variante Escara for the last time as we're running down to Parabolica, and do you want to try and duke it out as a drag race? We've just seen Adam Delmont dip a tyre wide. He's up to P11. Jamie Gulliford's now leading our Pro-Am category. He's been dominant. He's been our standout performance so far this season. He's currently winning Pro-Am as well. Our early race leader in Pro-Am though was Stimpson, and he's dropped down the order. I think there was contact actually in the first chicane. I did see a car spinning round into the runoff area there, as we've got Jason Cooper again attacking Andy McEwen, getting up the inside on the way down into the Parabolica. Tom Griffiths looking in third, and then Sam Smith in fourth. Anybody can win this race right now, as you can see the field flying on down that back straight.
They're still going side by side. You see Colin Simpson is fighting to catch up to Jenkins. It is just incredible racing all throughout the field, as they're still tucking and moving around. It's like a bit of a Tour de France going around here. It's Italian though.
As they come down, Craig Schultz just almost gets there on the brakes, but then Colin Sampson has the confidence. Tyler, it must be very, very... Oh, as commentator's curse. Commentator's curse. That's totally our fault. He's doing donuts in the runoff area just there. And he's back on. He's okay. Tyler, I was going to say, it must be a very proud moment for you to see that your leverage, your paint schemes from your graphics company running here in the BSR series. Although, as I say that, we see one of your drivers spinning and going round in the first corner.
I'm very proud of every single one of them that is wearing my design. It's just incredible to see him out there. And it's just fantastic to know that I got something like this.
The car's
we should look at
great.
the front of the field because enemy is just getting ahead.
As we head to the front of the field, Andy McEwen, is that almost a gap? He's 8 tenths clear of the cars behind. Now, I think the draft range in Mazdas is about a second, so he's not quite broke clear just yet. But if the cars behind don't organise themselves, Andy McEwen might just very well, he's got a second gap now. He might just very well have stolen a march on the cars behind. They've got to be tactical. Jason Cooper's got to be thinking here. Yes, he's got the run. Yes, he's to the outside. And he is gaining and gaining and gaining on Andy McEwen. But if these guys fight side by side into Parabolica, which they do, Tom Griffiths sticks it up the inside, they might very well lose Andy McEwen in the 4 car. And again, the gap just creeps up to a second as come out, and you've got 27 of Sam Smith there as well. Guys, we need to think about this. We need to be smart. We need to use some of our race IQ. Andy McEwen, he's going to the outside. He's trying to use, he's trying to weave. He's trying to use some of his rate the draft from the cars behind. But here they come, and the pack is massively compressing. You've got 10 cars in this league cab. Andy McEwen snaking around on the brakes. He's braking as late as he can. The gaps tumble down too as they come on the exit. The gaps. Oh, and Seal's gone round. Seal has gone round. Contact on the exit of the first chicane. Michael Seal drops all the way down to P12. A disaster for him. Doesn't really cause much for a break in the pack. Still a second between Griffiths and McEwen, but a complete disaster there for Michael Seal. He'll be now thinking, you know what? I need a reverse grid result. I need to stay on the lead lap. 2 laps to go. Cooper and Griffiths still side by side as he pushes wide. He's bouncing over the sausage curbs, Tyler. He'll definitely have a slowdown for that.
He's just gone into the gravel. Oh my goodness, there is so much going on just the second chicane. So much drama going around here. As the Griffiths and Cooper are battling around, Luke Cooper was doing his own business. Goodness gracious there, Reese.
Wow, that's what sums it up. We've got Gulliford in P9 still leading Pro-Am. And we've got Leon Jenkins in 10th leading our AM category. Griffiths has got a slowdown as well. He's having to back out of it. He's let Jason Cooper through. I think he was paying for that slowdown where he'd gone across the sausage curbs in the second chicane. And that's let Andy McEwen away. He's 1.8 seconds according to my timing screen. I think the timing tower is showing something slightly different. All I know is Andy McEwen is well and away in the lead. He's got the Ennio Fungus car just in front of me as well. Maybe there might be a little bit of teamwork happening there as well. But say Jason Cooper here, unfortunately due to being raced quite hard by Tom Griffiths, so let Andy McEwen get away scot-free. The Cheshire Centre himself, as we head round, we take the white flag. White flag fever kicks on in. Barney does his thing. It's the final lap here at Monza of race 1. Already a quarter of the way through our evening. Wow.
I want to give a huge shout out to Adam Delmont. Look where he is. He's in 7th. Has an incredible run from not even qualifying to now be in the top 10. And he's so close to the top 5 that he could even get to the podium with all this commotion going on.
I think he's just took 2 places as we go down the start-finish straight. We've got cars out of shape down the chicane. That actually cost him a little bit of momentum. He gets passed by the 13 car of Nick Clibbons just there. Adam Delmont, we talked about him being, I think he was 14 last time we checked in on him. Then he moved up to P11. He's slowly picking his way through the field, and that points deficit that he's experiencing here in race 1 to Jason Cooper is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. It's definitely damage limitation. He gets overtaken by James Neve on the way down into the second chicane. Andy McEwen still 1.5 seconds ahead of Jason Cooper. He's got this in the bag. Tom Griffiths 7.9 Cooper. Might fancy a run, but as they go side by side, Neve ran the outside of Delmont through the first Lesmo. Delmont just gets clear. He takes the line for Lesmo 2, and then they use all of that AstroTurf on the outside. Gulliford's there, P9 for the Pro-Am. Part of him will be thinking, I want to get as high as I can for more points. Part of him's thinking, I've got the Pro-Am win in the bag. Liam Jenkins keeping the watch and brief. Again, he's got the AM win in the bag, providing no dramas. As we head through the Ascari chicane for the final time, I think we've got some spicy action coming right up now, Tyler, on the final run into the Parabolica.
Yeah, even if it's not for the win, it is absolutely crucial for the points for the rest of the championship. So every race matters now on. But look at this. Great job by Andy McEwen as he goes through the final corner. It was an incredible first race here in Monza, and it's just getting that much more exciting as we have 3 more races later on. But here we go. Andy McEwen will cross the line to win race 1.
There we are. He's weaving away. He's happy as Jason Cooper, P2, and Tom Griffiths in 3rd place. Adam Delmont, you mentioned about where he finished. He's somehow got P5. I think they were 3, maybe 4 wide across the line just there. Monza madness indeed. Nick Clibbons coming in 6th and McNally in 7th and Neve 8th. Jamie Gulliford looks like he's provisionally taken the Pro-Am win in P9. Leon Jenkins in P11 with Luke Cooper in 10th place. Just Um, what a first race. We've got cars stranded, stricken, broken on the start-finish straight. Oh, I'll be glad once we've done spinning wheel and gone through the results. I'll be glad to go for a drink, Tyler, after that one. That has been a very frenetic race one just there. What are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness, that was incredible for a first race like that. I see why they come to Monza. BSR Adamans. This is just a perfect race for a broadcast like this, and it's just amazing for the drivers to be going back and forth and back and forth. This is just impressive for everyone involved.
Some incredible overtaking just there, and we'll find out how much overtaking we're going to get in race 2 now, because we've got the Team Year 1 trademark spinning wheel of fortune. And round it goes. And it looks like that's going to be P10 as a reverse grid. I'm just having a quick look at my timing screen. I think I've got an idea of who's going to be on reverse grid pole just there. Yeah, P10, so our smallest number so far on our spinning wheel. And that's going to really mix things up. Andy McEwen, our race 1 winner, will be starting 10th. You'll probably be not that miffed. Obviously, there could have been far worse numbers on there, Tyler. We're heading back to the studio. So, race 1 in the books. How did you find it? How did you enjoy your first race commentating? Are you looking forward to rounds 2, 3, and 4 tonight?
I'm excited. If this is what we're going to get for the rest of the 3 races, this is going to be an exciting evening. It's just going to be fantastic. Oh, this is just going to be an impressive evening, as having that titanic battle with Andy McEwen coming out on top. I didn't think that was going to be possible for anybody to get out of there alive. Oh.
It's great to see as well. We've got different teams at the front. We've got the 5-star car of Jason Cooper. Obviously, we've got the Year 1 car of Andy McEwen. And you've got the car of Tom Griffiths as well in Team Excite. I've just been told, word in my ear from our production team, Graham Sessford. Obviously, he keeps far more abreast of the information, the details than we do. Jason Cooper's actually moved across to the Swift Cooper threshold. So he's racing actually side by side with his brother Luke Cooper here as well. So it'll be very interesting to see if that makes any difference. Obviously, we've got Lars Fischer here, who finished P12 in race 1. He's still running for a 5-star, I think. We'll run through the results just now for you, and I think we've also got a post-race interview lined up as well. Well, this is confirmation of the podium. We've got Andy McEwen in P1, Jason Cooper in P2, and then we've got Tom Griffiths, who obviously runs MX5s for real life, as well in P3, just there around our podium. And as we dive on across to our 4 results just now, confirmation, McEwen P1, Cooper P2, Griffiths P3. Adam Delmont, our championship leader, actually got scored in P4 right there in the end.
Oh.
We'll find out why in just a moment. Nick Clibbons rounds out our top 5. Adam McNally in P6 with his shoulder injury. James Neave, P7 for Team Year 1. Jamie Gulliford winning Pro-Am in P8. And you got Luke Cooper in 9th. Leon Jenkins, P10. And that confirms Leon Jenkins, our AM winner of race 1. Reverse grid pole as well for him. Michael Seal, we saw him get spun round. He's P11 with Lars Fischer in 12th. Also running for Swift Cooper Racing. Craig Schill, P13. Luke Pullen 14th. And then we've got Mark Oliver, P15, second in AM. Douglas Stewart, P16. Kip Stevens, 17th. Julian Schroer, 18th. And Liam Simpson, again, a driver we saw have a spin in P19. Fiona Siddons, she's in P20. And then here's the shocking position. Sam J. Smith, P21. We saw him cross the line in what I believe was 4th place. However, he actually picked up too many instant points in race 1. And that's given him a time penalty, which drops him down to P21. He'll start race 2 in 21st as well. Not eligible for the reverse grid there. Liam Stilson, P22 for 1TV. And then you've got Chris Dixon in 23rd. He's the last man on lead lap. Glenn Humberston, 24th. He's 1 lap down. And then you've got Colin Sampson in P25. And Simon Robson ran out of field, DNFing unfortunately for Syntec Racing in P26. Wow, race 1 in the books, and I think we are lucky enough actually to be able to speak to our race 1 winner. I don't know if he can hear us just yet, but we've got Andy McEwen standing by for an interview. We've got a black screen at the moment. We're going to get him up in just a second. Waiting for it. Almost. We're going to let computers just do their thing. And there we are. We've got Andy McEwen.
Hey.
Welcome and congratulations first and foremost. So, starting near the front, you've made it all the way through to winning race 1. Talk us through what happened. What was your strategies going through the race?
That's a good question, that. I did kind of go into tonight thinking, oh yeah, if I'm in a certain position on the last lap, then, you know, that's good. I can get into a certain position by the last straight, and then I can do something through the last corner. And of course, all that goes out the window when the race starts. And what wasn't in the plan was breaking the toe. I mean, I don't quite know what happened there. I think there was some stuff kicking off behind me, and yeah, managed to break away and then just put in a couple of good sort of quali laps. And thankfully, Jason couldn't get to me.
Yeah, it looked like Griffiths and Cooper had fought really hard through the middle sector of the lap. And there was a lot of 2-wide action, even 3-wide action. We saw you diving up the inside into the chain to take the lead. I think it was lap 3. It was very, very tough action at the front. It's almost like high-speed chess, I suppose. Obviously, we've got the smallest number possible for tonight of number 10. So you'll be starting P10. How much ground do you think you'll manage to cover in race 2?
That's the best news I could have had, because I know you can overtake at Monza, but you know, if you're starting 20th, 25th or something, by the time you get into the top 10, there's normally a lead pack that's kind of broken away, but starting 10th, it's all the quick guys at the front again. So we should hopefully be able to have another similar race. And yeah, I mean, I'm gunning for another win. I've got to try and maximise the points tonight. I didn't have a great week at Snetterton last week, so yeah, why not? Certainly the podium, and I'm aiming for P1 again.
Wow, that's very committed from you. You actually messaged me, I don't remember, you messaged me last week at Snetterton halfway through the evening saying, I hate this place. So much happier here at Monza.
Yeah, I love this kind of racing, you know. Sorry, Reece, go on.
No, I was going to say, obviously heading towards the second half of the season, Adam Delmont's currently leading the way. Do you think you've got potential for maybe a championship challenge in the second half of the season?
I'd like to think so. I don't know that. I seem to go... I always have a good season followed by a bad season, then a good one again. So last season I had a pretty bad one, having finished second the season before. So in theory, like, you know, I should be back up there again. And I think I'm driving better than ever. So yeah, why not? You know, I like the British tracks. I know we're at Monza this week, but most of the tracks are British. They suit me, I think. And you know, Jason's had a bit of an off start to the season, and Adam's been a bit patchy as well, picking up some penalties. So if I can keep it clean and keep winning races, then yeah, why not?
Excellent. Well, we wish you the best of luck with it. We're going to keep an eye out for you in race 2 as well. I think we're going to take a short break now, just before we've got race 2 coming. We'll let everyone get loaded on in and start running. We'll be back in about 3 minutes or so. So, Andy, good luck in race 2, and so we'll see you all back in about 3 minutes' time. Hello, and after a very short break, we are back for the build-up for Race 2 of the BSR MX5 series here at Monza. Rapidly approaching the halfway point of the season. It's been some scintillating action from Race 1. I think these guys are going to carry it through all the way through. We've heard Andy McEwen talk about how strategic it was. He was already planning at the start of the race where he wanted to be at the end of the race. But he got lucky. You know what? I'm not calling Andy McEwen lucky. He got skillful. He managed to break away from the rest of the pack and hold on for the Race 1 win. And he's gunning for glory in Race 2, looking for that second win of the night. We've got some stats to run through just now. So here is Andy McEwen, our Race 1 winner. He's actually just taken over second place in the championship. He's got 1,243 points. He's had 17 starts this season, of which he's won 4 races. That's almost a 25% win percentage just there, with 7 podiums as well. So again, nearly 50% of his races. The thing that lets Andy down is he's had 2 DNFs. He DNF'd in Race 1 at Snetterton last week, and he also DNF'd in the final race of Brands Hatch 2. We saw him go off at Paddock Hill Bend, I seem to remember. I remember shouting down the microphone, actually, I seem to remember just there. So Andy, he's been quite consistent, but those 2 DNFs might come back to haunt him. One thing that is in his favour, he's already had 4 race meetings. He doesn't plan to miss any. That being said, Adam Delmont fighting back very, very well in Race 1 here at Monza. Didn't qualify, still managed to finish P4 in the end after Sam Smith's penalty. He's currently leading the way in the championship. And again, doing my quick maths, I think he's got a 141-point championship lead. I've been very wrong before when it comes to quick maths. We've got Andy McEwen just leading Jason Cooper by 4 points in P2. Tom Griffiths in 4th. Nick Clibborn's 5th, Gulliford in 6th, leading Pro-Am, and then Stevens, Seal and Neve in 7, 8 and 9. McNally in P10, again, he had a very good Race 1 there as well. And so heading back towards the studio, just this, that was a quick rundown of the top 10. And here we are, so Race 2. So we've got about 20 seconds before we grid Tyler. 10-car reverse grid, what are your predictions?
I think we might have the same race as we did in Race 1, but I've always been wrong in my own predictions when doing stuff like this. So I just think we're going to have something exciting, something dramatic, maybe at the start. So maybe that's the only prediction that I'll have tonight, that it's going to be an exciting start for Race 2.
So here we are. So we're going to run through the grid just now for us. I'm just waiting for my sessions to load up. We've got about 50 seconds or so until lights out. So as I'm looking, so we've got Leon Jenkins, our AM winner in P1. Luke Cooper is currently in P2. Jamie Gulliford starting row 2 in 3rd place. James Neve in 4th. McNally 5th. Clibborn 6th. And it's Delmont in 7th and Tom Griffiths in P8. Now we've got a front 2 from Race 1. Jason Cooper in P9. Andy McEwen in P10. Michael Seal in P11 after his spin, just missing out on reverse grid pole. Lars Fisher in 12th. He had great pace in Race 1. Craig Schill 13th. Hullen 14th. Oliver 15th. Stewart 16th. Stevens in 18th. And then it was Julian Schroer 18th. 19th for Liam Stinson. Fiona Siddons P20. Sam Smith after his penalty in Race 1. P21. Silkstone, Dixon, Humberston and Sansom rounding out our grid. We've got about 3 seconds, so hopefully we can see the cars just here as we're getting ready for the start. Just waiting for us to jump out of the studio. Engine notes rise. We've got a standing start. And here we are. Race 2 underway. Jenkins gets a good start. Jamie Gulliford actually didn't make our grid, so he's going to have missed the start. Luke Cooper in P2 gets a great launch. He's already side by side with Leon Jenkins. It's side by side. No draft for either of them. We've then got James Neve in 3rd position just there as well. As we're launching on down to the start, and it looks like Luke Cooper's going to lead the way through the first chicane. As they fight down for the apex, it looks like James Neve trying to go up the inside, doesn't quite get it done against Leon Jenkins. We've then got Gulliford, who's now showing P4 on my timing screen. We'll wait for that to sort itself out. McNally 5th, Clibborn 6th, Delmont in P7, championship leader. Jason Cooper's made up a spot, P8, Tom Griffiths 9th. Andy McEwen hasn't changed position at all. He's P10 as we're charging on down to the second chicane for the first time, and we can see 1, 2 wide already. We've got packs forming and you've got cars moving around as they bounce over the curbs. What a shot there. Brilliant work from our production team. But Luke Cooper leading the way into the Les Mode for the first time, Tyler.
Well, as ever, I am never right about my predictions, but there we go. Luke Cooper leading away. Oh, never mind. There's somebody in the background. That's Jason Cooper, the 5-star's car, just going off into the gravel. Maybe I was sort of right about my prediction, but there we go. Lots of fun going around as they go single file over into the Ascaris. There's a lot of more battling just for the lead alone.
It's been a disastrous start for 5-star. You've got Cooper and Fisher, P24 and P25. They had standout pace at Snetterton last week, but they've had no luck so far this week. It's still Cooper ahead of Neve. McNally's in third, and Gulliford's gone around, our Pro-Am Championship leader. Oh, it's Luke Pullen, sorry. Oh, and then you got the Enno Fungus car. I'm sorry, I think that's Colin Sampson just there, who's hit the wall hard on the inside. What a disaster. I'm sorry, Tyler, as well. To go out, and you can see his left front tyre is well out of position. That'll be a DNF for him just there. I think Luke Pullen doesn't have any damage, so he'll carry on running. As we head towards the end of lap 1, it's all drama here at Monza.
And they're going side by side for the lead. I have a little bit of shed a tear for my anyone of us design car, but there we go. It is still a train of cars going down into T1 as they battle the sausage curves and they battle each other just to get ordered.
We've had some great progress through the field. So, obviously, Jason Cooper, really unlucky on lap 1. Not sure what happened to him, but we've now got McEwen and Delmont side by side. P1 and P2 in the championship, side by side through the Curva Grande. Delmont getting ahead. But it's still such a long way to the braking zone for the second chicane. Will McEwen have another go, or will he sit in line? Obviously, you don't want to fight too hard, because if you fight too hard, you lose the cars in front, you lose the draft, you lose the pack. It's still James Neve, P1. Obviously, we've seen him win races so far this season. Luke Cooper second, Adam McNally running out of podium. You've got cars side by side, even coming out of the second chicane, using all the AstroTurf there. Great trailing shot. Just there. Oh, look how sideways Luke Cooper is. Oh, it's on the grass as well. It's not going to cost him too much because he's still in that draft range of James Neve. This is going to be spellbinding action as we've got 6 laps to go here, 11 minutes on the clock.
So many things I was thinking about last race is how much they are trying to get as much momentum through the exit. So they'll do everything they can, like go on the gravel, find extra pavement. It is just insane. Look how far they get close to that outside track. They'll use everything just to get in front of the other person.
Indeed, and we've got, I think it looks like we've got a 7 or an 8 car lead car break. Leon Jenkins holding on very well, our AM leader, who's our pole position sitter. As we get to the end of lap 2, sorry, I should say, not race 2. He's currently running P5 right now, and he is laughing and joking. He's so far ahead of the rest of the AM category. He's quite happy. We've got Mark Oliver, P14, second in AM. As we're 3 wide across the start-finish line, I take one moment to look across the timing screens, and all of a sudden, James Neve, who was leading, I think he's going to lose out to P4. You've got McNally going through to lead with Clibbons, and Cooper side by side under braking into the first chicane. James Neve, and McNally's gone straight on, it looks like. McNally's off. That's going to cost him. He's going to have a big and painful slowdown just there. He has to let people go. Got Delmont in 5th. Showing Jamie Gulliford in P6 right there. And Andy McEwen slipped down to P9. I'm sure we saw Jamie Gulliford. Oh, no, it was Luke Pullen, sorry, we saw go round. It's all topsy-turvy right there as you've got Nick Clibbons now leading the way. Luke Cooper and James Neve both attacking him into the second chicane. Blinking you miss it stuff, Tyler. I'm going to need to cough, so one moment.
Oh my goodness. And you see Jenkins in the background, he's off on the gravel. But he still has a huge lead to Jonas Simmons, who's in second for the AM Championship. For this race, you just see, look at this. You see Fiona Simmons drive on board with her. And here we go. That is just a view of what is to come for her.
It's an absolute
Even
maelstrom,
more
guys.
drama.
See Douglas Stewart go wide in the second Lesmo. He's dropping down the order just now. He was second place in our Pro-Am category. He's now all the way down to P19. Julian Schroer in P12. He's actually third. And you've got Craig Schill in ninth too. He's having a great race, actually, Craig is. Liam Jenkins in P10. Still leading the way in AM. As we've got this front group just here. And again, you run down, and I think we've still got, I'm just doing a quick head count. Our top 9 just in that. In fact, top 10, sorry, I should say. You've still got Liam Jenkins' last car in the train. But the 88 set car of Craig Shaw having a great race so far. Andy McEwen dropped down the order a touch in that last lap. I'm not sure if it was contact in the first chicane, but he's still in touch. He's still keeping progress. As we can see, our leaders, they're going to be fighting. Again, I think if we have a look, you can see Neve and Clibbin side by side. Adam Delmont there as well, and they're 3 wide. Of course they're 3 wide. I wouldn't expect anything less from these Mazdas down into the braking zone for the first chicane. And it's Delmont who takes the point, our championship leader.
Oh, more huge contact! That is huge in the background of the first chicane. And that is Adam McNally. Goodness gracious, he was just turned around. No fault of his own, probably. I can't tell if that was intentional. But here's a replay of that incident. Adam McNally goes into the chicane, gets a little bump. Oh, there you go. Lots of tapping around by a year 1 driver. McNally is facing the wrong way as he gets back onto the track. Not takes out another. Does nicely. A lot more drama in the background, even there.
We're on board. I think Jamie Gulliford might have been, we're not going to use the word offending party, but it was his bumper that turned Adam McNally round there. And yeah, unfortunately, he falls down the order. So McNally's now running P12. Gulliford running unscathed. He's in P7. That's that Andy McEwen get up to P5 right here. And you've got a bit of a gap, so it's now a top 4 breakaway. And then 2 seconds back to Andy McEwen. Similar sort of feature we found to race 1, to be fair, Tyler, of that. You'll have a large pack, and then about halfway through the race, which is where we're at right now, and it'll become a pack of 4 or 5. And then we actually saw Andy McEwen break away in the final laps, which is something Adam Delmont will be looking to replicate here in race 2, as we ride on board with Liam Stimson getting very sideways through the Ascari corner. So you can see he's got big damage on his left by the looks of it as well. Oh, it's contact in front of him. That looks like Sam J. Smith has gone off. Sam J. Smith in the wall on the exit with Ascari. Oh, the night goes from bad to worse for him here.
It's a huge shame for him. We'll just see what absolutely happened to him. Huge spin. Tries to recover it. He almost took out somebody, but he was lucky not to. And just getting back on is just... Ooh. Was taking out Lance Fisher. There we go.
There looks to be a very, very small gap between the 2 cars. Just I don't know if it was Fisher or Cooper, but they were very, very lucky to avoid too much carnage there. That could have ruined their evening so far. Jason Cooper, we saw him run wide at the start. He's now at P12. He's actually just overtaken James Neve. We've lost James Neve from the front pack. It's now a pack of 3 with Andy McEwen. Isn't too far behind them. A qualifying lap or 2. We heard him talking about them in race 1. And he might just about manage to bridge the gap to the top view just here. It's Delmont from Clibbins, Cooper in 3rd, McEwen in 4th, and Seal ran out of top 5. Craig Schill has actually overtaken Jamie Gulliford. So Craig Schill, I mentioned he was having a good race. He's now leading our Pro-Am category. He's side by side with Gulliford. You can see them exchanging places on the screen and also on the timing tower as well. Side by side for the second Lesmo. You've got to have a lot of trust to do that. And it looks like Craig Shield just lifts a touch early and lets Jamie Gulliford take the run. And they're 3 wide now. Of course they're 3 wide. Going down straight towards the Ascari chicane.
Get assured of that. Yeah, of course it's 3 wide. Reese Anders, just a quote right there. Craig Shield is trying to get past Jenkins. Oh my goodness. It is just a titanic battle everywhere you look. Trains on trains. Passes on passes. But I really think this is a lot more sensible race than race 1. I think a lot of them are really waiting for the last lap. What do you think?
We're having word that Andy McEwen has caught up. Now, unfortunately, my timing screen, my iRacing simulator, is just frozen on up, so I've lost my timing. So I might need a little bit of help from you here, Tyler, as we head to 2 laps to go. And it looks like, yeah, so Delmont, Clibbons, Cooper, but Andy McEwen is now starting to get right with them. Probably going to be too wide between Clibbons and Delmont down into turn 1 as well, as we've got a beautiful view of the transmission. A bit of bump drafting on the way down into the first chicane from Clibbons to Delmont, just trying to push him away from the field behind.
I really seriously believe that Nick Clibbons and Delmont are actually working together to get ahead of Luke Cooper and McEwen. This is just going to be a bit of a two-way battle to get into the lead, just a 1v1, just to see, but it's not going to work. Luke Cooper is still with them. And Andy McEwen is slowly moving towards as they start to battle and slow each other down.
They're punching a big hole in the air, and that's letting Cooper and also McEwen catch on up. I'm just waiting for my iRacing to reload back on, so I've got some timing that can keep you informed of the gaps. As we're riding on board from the rear bumper of Adam Delmont, you can just see, and we'll see, hopefully we'll get a brilliant shot of just, as Delmont runs wide, so does Clibbons. That's Gravel Boys, you can't use that. Rallycross runs on a different night, but we've got Delmont and Clibbons, and you can see Clibbons in the draft, in the toe. He picks it up, and that gap just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, and there's nothing at all Adam Delmont can do to stop Nick Clibbons getting that advantage down the straight. And you can see him bouncing over the curbs. It's a brilliant onboard shot we've got just here, Tyler. Really, really good.
It just shows how close they're getting, and just how much attention that they'll just do to then bum draft one another. Look at the brakes. Beautiful overhead shot from our helicopter above. We see Luke Cooper just dragging on him.
Yeah, with them bump drafting, that's let Luke Cooper get up right with them, and again we might even see another 3 wide bit. But check your medication, check your vaccines, guys, because it's white flag fever time right here. It looks like we might have lost McEwen off the back of this pack as well. He might have just blinked out and lost connection. But we've got 1, 2 and 3, and we look, Cooper goes to the outside. Clibbons taking, he takes the side draft, he's all the way to the outside. It's almost a slingshot just there. Delmont holds inside.
Contact.
They bump doors in the braking zone, and it looks like Adam Delmont's going to survive the first attack of this lap. I say first attack, you've got the long draft now out of the first chicane through the Curva Grande. It'll give them another opportunity to attack him down into the second chicane, but it actually looks like Cooper's got Clibbons for company now. As they close on up, they come out the Curva Grande, and Clibbons goes to the inside. Touch on the quarter panel just there. Cooper just about keeps straight. Clibbons dives. He dives on his side. Is he going to get it stopped? No, he doesn't. He bounces over the sausage curbs. That will be a slowdown penalty for him. I might give Delmont the gap. That actually lets Andy McEwen up into P3. We've now got Delmont in P2 and Clibbons in the lead still, but we know for a fact as Delmont goes wide. Oh, this is all to play for, Tyler.
It's the final lap. This is exactly what I was expecting for race 1. And here it is in race 2. A 4-way battle for the lead. Adam Delmont's still ahead. Adam McEwen is side by side with Clibbons. Oh, this is just going to get more exciting at the finish. Adam Delmont through Escari. Oh, bit of contact for Clibbons to Adam McEwen. And McEwen is looking fast. This will be a photo finish to the end.
Looks like McEwen, so McEwen in P2, Delmont in P1, as they are in the championship, as they are on the run down to the parabolic of the final time. Delmont defends the inside, McEwen goes to the outside. Will he get it over and under? We've got Cooper and Clibbons keeping a very tight watching brief there as well. They dart through, we'll watch them sprint into shot just here. McEwen is right up with Delmont. He's going to pop on out. He's going to try and take it to the line. Well, we can see the start-finish line. We can see their side by side. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? I can't tell right here. It looks like... Oh, no, is it McEwen? I think it might be Delmont. I don't know. We'll wait for it. It's Delmont. Adam Delmont gets the win. My neighbours will be thinking, what on earth's going on? They should know by now. It's Tuesday night MX5's Delmont takes the win from Andy McEwen. Clibbens third, Cooper fourth. Tom Griffiths finishes P5 with Seal and McNally P6 and 7. Jamie Gulliford takes the crown win, eventually had a great show. Looks like the two of those had a great race. Jason Cooper, we still have a nightmare. We saw him running, I think I said P5 at one point. He's made it back to P10 somehow. Leon Jenkins taking out and win as well. We'll have the full and confirmed results in just a moment for you, as well as the spinning wheel of fortune. But what a race, Tyler.
Wow, that was an incredible photo finish. And it's a win for Adam Delmont. Fantastic. This is just an incredible race to be at right now. If you aren't watching, go share with somebody that is not watching with you. This is incredible for a night like this. So let's spin the wheel for race 3.
The wheel will spin. Oh, that way. Oh. The wheel will spin, and we'll find out how much work Adam Delmont's got to do. It's not going to be a full, not quite. It's going to be a 20-car reverse grid here. My timing screens, as I mentioned, are playing up, so I don't know who's going to be on pole just yet. We'll get our results in just a moment. That's going to give Adam Delmont a lot of work right now. Andy McEwen, we spoke to him after race 1. He said, I'm going in for the win. He almost got it there. It was so close. Probably our closest finish of the season so far. But what a race, Tyler. We're halfway through the evening. I think I'm more than halfway through my vocal cords right now. It's fantastic.
You look like you're about to pass out from all this excitement. It's just incredible. I think I might agree with you on that. It's just incredible racing we have with that photo finish with Adam Delmont and McEwen. And it was a 4-way battle for the lead on the final lap. That's incredible.
As a commentator, sometimes you use a bit of artistic license, but there's no hyperbole required here at all tonight. This has been absolutely incredible action so far. We're just waiting on the results to be generated. We're just making sure everyone's crossed the line and to make sure that there's no post-race penalties to be immediately applied. But what a race. Say P20 as well. We're going to get such a jumbled up grid right now for race 3. We're going to get more action, more delight, more carnage, potentially. Not that we enjoy we do enjoy the carnage a little bit, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to get a little bit more carnage as well in race 3. It's a jumbled up grid. We'll find out who's on our reverse grid poll as well in just a moment. It's just being generated just now for us. Normally, Tyler, you're sat in the background actually, aren't you? At this point, you're normally generating graphics, creating social media posts, but you've come front of house tonight. Are you enjoying it? That's the important question.
I think my hand is shaking right now. It's just so exciting. And yeah, I would have been in the background, but unfortunately Jack is unfortunately not here with us, so we'll have to be just there. But here's the final results. Adam Delmont taking the win. And McEwen second.
McEwen second. Clibbens in P3. First podium for him tonight for Simtech Racing. We've got the full results just coming up onto the screen just now. And there we are. So Adam Delmont winning the race. McEwen second. 12 thousandths of a second was the official timing. Blink and you'll miss it. Clibbens edging third out from Luke Cooper. Tom Griffiths in P4. Seal 6th. McNally 7th. Gulliford winning Pro-Am in P8. Craig Schill in 9th. And then Jason Cooper rounding out our top 10. We'll head over to page 2 just now and find out who'll be on reverse grid pole. It's Leon Jenkins winning AM in P11. Lars Fisher 12th. James Neve 13th. Julian Schroer in P14th. With Liam Silkston in P15. Fiona Siddons in P16. Chris Dixon 17th. Sam J. Smith, we saw him have a bit of misfortune in that race. We saw him go around it in a Ascari. He finishes P18. He'll be a great shout for the win in race 3. Mark Oliver P13. And then Douglas Stewart at pole position sitter for race 3. Then we've got the last few classified finishes just here. Liam Simpson in P21. Kip Stevens 4 laps down in 22nd. Glenn Humberston, Luke Pullen and Colin Sampson all being classified as 6 laps down. And I think there's a bit of an anomaly just there at the bottom. We're about to take a break in a minute's time or so. Colin Sampson, thank you very much for getting involved in the YouTube chat as well. Adam Fox, he's not managed to make it here tonight. He's been here. He's been our very strong AM competitor so far this season. He's questioning who's letting Leon win the AM battle right now. As a rumour in my ear, I don't think it's quite correct, but it might be Graham Sessford causing trouble. But apparently he's sick of getting hit by Mark Van Dalen, which is a sentiment we can all agree with. The man is a menace. There's a reason we gave him a Spitfire paint scheme last week. I think that might have been your hand, actually, Tyler, was it not?
It was not me. I swear, it was not me who gave him that paint. I think it was Sessford that gave him that paint job, but it still looks good on him, considering what he's been doing.
Not only does it look good, I think it's appropriate as well. And on the subject of things that are appropriate, I need a drink. I need to turn a light on. So we're going to hit a short break just now for us. But don't go anywhere. Rehydrate, guys. We'll be back in 5 minutes for round 3 of the BSR MX5s at Monza. Hello and welcome back to the second half of our broadcast. We're already halfway through our races this evening of the BSR MX5 series at Monza. I'm Reese. I'm joined by Tyler tonight, our last minute replacement, not that you'd notice. And wow, what a night so far. We've seen great racing. We've seen Andy McEwen break away in race 1. We've seen him take it to the wire in race 2, side by side with Adam on 12 thousandths to finish. It's a big reverse grid for race 3. We're going to see plenty of action, I'm sure, coming right up. Douglas Stewart on our pole position there as well. We're going to run through some stats with you. We've got about 3 minutes or so before we get ready for the next session. Wow, Lincoln, you'll miss it. I'm glad I've managed to stop. I'm glad I've managed to get a break and grab a drink before this race starts, Tyler. Wow.
I'm glad you did, because it is just getting hectic tonight. Wow, I think with this next grid, it's just going to be fantastic, with 20 cars being out of order from what they are now.
And here we are. So we've got championship standings. So Delmont winning race 2 ahead of McEwen has slightly stretched his lead, and he's currently winning. Apologies. He's currently winning by 151 points. I'm pretty sure I did have COVID last week. We've got Jason Cooper in P3, Tom Griffiths in 4th, with Clibbons in 5th. Jamie Gulliford leading Pro-Am in P6 with Seal, Neve, McNally and Stevens rounding out our top 10 just there as well. Stevens, we've not heard a lot from him actually, which is very much unlike Kip. He's been around since, I'm going to say, the dawn of time. But he's currently running P10 in the championship just here, and he's done a lot of work and behind the scenes for BSR over the years. And I know he's spoken to pretty much everybody. I think we once had a 3 a.m. drunken chat in a Mumble server about the UFC. I say Kip, the man, the myth, and the legend. As we roll on over to page 2, we've got Sam Smith. He's had a bit of bad luck tonight. He's currently in P11 with Douglas Stewart, our pole sitter, in 12th. Adam Fox, our current AM leader, in P13. I say current, he's not here tonight, so he's not gaining any points over his competitors. Craig McDonald in P14, Paul Cook in 15th, Lars Fisher late coming to the championship in P16, with Holmes for 88 Tech in 17th, Cooper in 18th. We saw him near the front in race 2. Then it's Siddons in 19th, Mark Oliver in P20. Jenkins, he's been dominant tonight. He's been really strong in the AM category. As I mentioned earlier on, Adam Fonts asking who's let Liam Jenkins run away with it in AM. He's currently in P21, Schroer 22, for Tuller in 23rd, Warner, Schill and Dixon 24, 25 and 26. Wiverley Stimpson 27, Humberston 28. Colin Sampson, we saw him hit the wall hard on the inside of Scary. He's in P29. Glad that it's virtual and he's not having to get that car repaired. Liam Stilson in P30. We've got about 40 seconds to go. My racing still isn't loading, so it might be Tyler Manning taking us away for the start of the race. It's Luke Pullen, P31. Hatcher, 32nd. Mark Van Dalen, not here tonight, in P33, with Wayne Douglas, 34th. And then Simon Robson, our last point scorer, in P35. The race just coming up. We'll be heading over to the grid in just a moment. I'm still waiting on my racing to load on up, Tyler, so you're going to definitely have to take us through the grid right now. I'm having a few technical issues for sure, but really looking forward to race 3 here. The drivers haven't let us down with action in the first 2 races. I'm sure that's not going to be the case in the next ones either.
All right, time for the grid. Douglas Stewart ahead of Oliver, Smith, Dixon, Siddons, Silkson, Short, Neve, Fisher, Jenkins. All of the top 10 right there in front of you. As we see Jason Cooper and Chell. Oh, lots of difficulties in the production office, but it's okay. As we'll get ready, Cooper, Schiller, McCallie, as we have the lights on.
So, my racing's just loaded on in. So we've got Douglas Stewart leading the way from pole. He's got the 999. He's had a great start. He's absolutely launched. Hopefully he doesn't get too far ahead of the pack, because they'll come at him with a vengeance in the draft. 24 cars take the start. But Douglas Stewart is absolutely lit it up. He's far underway. Sam J. Smith looking to the outside for P2 here in the 27 machine, the Exot Racing car just there. We've got a car maybe on the grass on the way in, but they're all keeping it pointing the right way. Nice and clean. Great respect shown just there. It would be great to see how the faster drivers, how your Delmonts, how your McEwens, how your Coopers get on, picking their way through the field right here, Tyler. As we head through the Curva Grande for the first time, you can see the cars move around. 2 Neo Fungus cars there. I can hear your bated breath down the microphone pretty much. We've got the 999 attacking the 579. Not quite getting there, but yeah. Oh, wow.
Ooh,
look at that. Oh! Sam Smith sending the 999 car around just there. 2 cars going over the sausage cone as well. And this might very well let Douglas Stewart break away from our field right here. Hopefully we'll get a replay in just a moment, but drama on lap 1 here.
This is some BSR madness here in Italy. As Douglas Stewart is still ahead of Mark Oliver. And then comes in Sam Smith. I think so. Look at them go down. They're free wide, I think, in the background right there. Oh my goodness. Hopping across the curbs. Actually, some air.
Bouncing on through. So we've had a frenetic start here. We can see Craig Schill tumbling down. Oh my God, there's a car. Hard into the inside wall. Hopefully nobody collects him. That was Nick Clibbons going round. And Nick Clibbons probably out this race because that was a heavy impact into the inside wall in Ascari. We've seen a few cars go around there, and yeah, that car is done. We can see him here. We've got a replay just there. Yes. Oh, he hits the inside curb just a bit too much. No tyre temperature. Round he goes. He's a passenger at this point. The car is done. That's a heavy impact just there for him. Real shame for Nick Clibbons. As he's riding board with Douglas Stewart, who's running on down into Parabolica just now. He's got Sam Smith 4 attempts behind him. Probably a little bit more than that. Then you got James Neve 3rd, Lars Fisher 4th, Liam Silkson in P5 with Leon Jenkins in 6th place. Jason Cooper already made it up to P7 from P10 on the grid. Looking back at our race 1 and 2 strong drivers. Oh, as we've got a real tumble down on the order. I think we might be a couple of seconds just behind here on the on-screen action just there. And we're still on replay. As we've got now a beautiful view of the park that is Monza. There's a huge crash. We'll get to the action soon, guys. Let the cameras work their magic. Still Stewart, Smith, Neve, Fisher and Schroer top 5. But the field has really jumbled up just there. McEwen up to P10. Cooper 9th, Delmont 8th. There'll be ones to watch for sure. But yeah, as we've got Sam J. Smith up the inside into the first Lesmo corner. He takes the lead away from Douglas Stewart. James Neve keeping that watching brief just there. It's been absolute carnage. It's been Mazda mayhem, Tyler. We've got just over 5.5 laps to go. blink and you'll miss it.
I'll tip my hat to Stewart as he held that car through the second chicane, getting a bit of a nice slide on. As you see, Neve is slowly getting past us. I hope Stewart will just let him by. No, he's gonna fight it. Oh, bit of contact right there to the quarter panel of Neve, and Stewart will have to, unfortunately, surrender third place to Fisher.
With Stewart not yielding there, he's actually cost himself another spot. That's let Lars Fischer jump into P3 so far. You've got Stewart and Schroer, the two teammates right here, running P4 and P5. Team Gonzo just there, and then the number 43 car, Luke Cooper, in 6th, with Griffiths, Delmont, Cooper, and McEwen, P7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, we've got, is that, oh, I think that's Stewart into the pits. Douglas Stewart takes the pits. We talked about how great a start he had. We talked about how fantastic a start he got. I think he got too good a start, because unfortunately for Douglas Stewart, he's in the pits, and that might give Julian Schroer the win in Pro-Am. Still got 4 laps to go, a lot to happen, but he's on his own and clear just there. Disaster for Douglas Stewart. Adam McNally makes his way up to P10 ahead of Luke Pullen. Luke Pullen currently 2nd in our Pro-Am class. With Fiona Siddons, I know she always gets great support in the YouTube chat, currently running P12, and Mark Oliver in 13th place as well. Wow, as I say, intrigue layered upon intrigue. We've got a 3-car breakaway at the front. It's 3.5 seconds back to Julian Schroer. It's Smith, Neve, and Fisher as we're launched on down. You've got Andy McEwen up the inside of Jason Cooper down into the second chicane. And, oh, he was only just clear. Cooper wasn't yielding there. McEwen had to fight for every inch of that overtake. He's got Adam Delmont, his championship rival, championship leader, in his sights just here. This is a ding-dong battle, 7th, 8th and 9th. 3 of probably the quickest guys in the series, no offence to anybody else. Showing in the reverse grids that they're having to manage traffic. Not that you can consider Tom Griffiths in P6 traffic, but it is a very, very quick field we've got near the front right now, Tyler.
I'm getting goosebumps. It's fantastic just how much they are battling for these spots just down here. It's not even for the win. Look at him go. Whoa! They're touching these sausage curbs like they are. Whoa! I can't even find the words for it. There you go. Barbecue accessories provided by Graham Sesford himself. Fantastic racing here between these. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Please get them away. I can't deal with this.
It's fantastic. I've enjoyed, so it's my first season commentating, and I've enjoyed every single second of it. As we look back at, I think this is Douglas Stewart. Unfortunately, he's a minute off the back of the pack. He's in P22. He's on his own. He's had a disaster from pole. We've got Neve and Smith swapping positions there. Cooper and McEwen also swapping positions. Fisher's now made it past Smith as well. Plenty of battles at the front. You've got Luke Cooper gaining ground on Julian Schroer just there. This is blinking you'll miss it stuff. And you know what I've enjoyed, as the point I was making, and you've got to be very quick with your points because there's always action to miss. I enjoy commentating more than racing, I think, because there's just so much action. I'm really looking forward to my Tuesday and Thursday nights at the moment, bringing you the British Sim Racers action. So all the way around this week, it's the Festival of Speed. It's the Temple of Velocity. Monza. I'm not sure who that. I think it was Kip Stevens out away just there. As I say, he's always, he might not be near the front, but he's always in the midst of the action. Is Kip Stevens. That you can always guarantee. You can see him just looking at the inside. He's broke clear of the 917 just there of Leon Jenkins. And you've got Colin Sampson there.
Whoa.
And Kip's gone straight on. Kip's decided that, you know what? I don't need to do that chicane. I'm going to run the old school layout. And he didn't do the first one either. I think Kip's, I'm not sure what Kip's doing. He's pulling over. I don't know. Kip, if you want to join us for an interview, let us know what's going on. Answers on a postcard. But as we look to the rest of the action, it's still Neve from Fisher from Smith. We've then got a 5-second gap back to Luke Cooper. Then it's Schroer, Griffiths, Delmont, Cooper, McEwen, all in a pack just there. And then it's another 5-second gap back to McNally. McNally having a right swapper on the exit of the Ascari chicane just there. Graham Sesford is cheering along in the background. I think if we were short of commentator tonight, if Tyler didn't step in at the last moment, Graham Sesford would have done a great job on cams and also commentating. Here we go. 3 laps to go, Tyler. Talk us through this run down to the chicane.
Well, Neve has the inside line from Fisher, but they are going to go free wide if Smith does this. No, he does not think of it. It's too much of a dare to do it. Looks like, oh, it is close, but Neve has the inside and will take the lead still. And there's a huge battle in the background as Fisher tries to grab onto a draft, but Smith is right there as they go around side by side. It's just getting crazy around here. As they go into the second chicane, they'll bounce over the sausage curbs as they do in these Mazdas. As so. And they are still a man pack.
Diving on through the second chicane, the front 3 have broken away. We're pretty sure who's going to be on our podium, providing there's no fatalities, providing there's no cars spearing off the track. It's going to be Neve, Fisher and Smith, glued together as they are. Who's going to round out our top 5? I'm not sure. It's currently Luke Cooper and Adam Delmont, but it could be anyone's game there on the edge of the top 5. Wow, that's all I'll say. As the Italians would say, it's picante, it's spicy, it's warm. The action here is phenomenal. I wish we could go to Monza every week. It's like the Talladega of road racing right now. As you've got Cooper going up the inside of Delmont into Ascari, not given any ground at all there. Obviously Delmont a little bit more to lose because he's got the championship lead. You've got McEwen now up the inside. And this is great. Our title protagonists, our Verstappens, our Hamiltons, fighting down the back straight right now. Hopefully no one's going to Charles Leclerc it and run wide in Parabolica. But we'll find out just as a free wide again. Ridiculousness knows no end. No contact. Drivers keeping it clear. McEwen steaming around the outside. Andy McEwen, usually you pass up the inside of a corner just to let you know. And you've got the snake of cars. You've got 4 or 5. Luke Cooper's away there. He's going to give some draft actually to his brother Jason Cooper there. You've then got Delmont darting to the outside as well. So it actually looks like McEwen making a great move into Parabolica. Loses the places straight away. Actually loses 3 spots. It looks like he's lost out to Delmont, Cooper and Schroer down there. He's got the inside into the chicane. Hopefully he doesn't get a tap. No, he loses out a touch. You've got Tom Griffiths in P9. He might even make it back. It's real 0 to 0. You've got to manage the momentum. It's like a game of high-speed chess. Cooper now has broken away from Cooper. It's side by side through the curve of Grande. Not just for Cooper and Cooper, but also you've got the guys at the front, 7 car of James Neve and Sam J. Smith as well. Wowzers.
Smith's into second. Smith has gone into second, but they're still fighting among these 4. Delmont, Cooper, Trainer, and McEwen all in this incredible pack. And Luke Cooper is just driving away from all of them. And it's just incredible to see how much they are fighting one another. They don't care about the win. They care about the championship now.
And it is, and it could go. So at the minute, Andy McEwen will be thinking, you know what, I'm losing ground to Adam Delmont. But so much can change. We've got a lap and a corner to go. So much can change right now, as we saw in race number 2. And actually it looks like Cooper and Delmont going side by side just there as well. We've got Kip Stevens just ahead of our leaders right here. Will he be a factor? Will his slipstream, will his draft affect the cars? You've got Sam J. Smith there, his wipers blazing away. You've got, 3 wide. I thought Cooper was going to make it 4 wide for a second. McEwen actually is back to the outside. So we saw him get shuffled out of position down the start-finish straight last time by. And he's gone all the way around the outside again in the Parabolica. Almost deja vu from the last lap. and all of a
Leaders
sudden,
are free
here we
wide.
got white
They're
flag
free
fever.
wide.
The leaders are free wide. I don't know where to look. Into the braking zone we go. It looks like Lars Fischer takes the point. Sam J. Smith in P2, and then James Neve in third position. Again, you might get some draft from this lap car as well. It's another long straight. You've got three wide now for 5th place. Delmont, McEwen, Cooper, the stars of BSR. And they're putting it all on the line. Oh, Shrew goes round. And oh, is that Tom Griffiths' hit? I think it is. And that makes it almost a 3-car battle right now. For P5. Luke Cooper is in no man's land. He's all by himself. But it's Delmont, McEwen, Cooper. I don't know where to look. I don't know where to look at the leaders as we've got Sam J. Smith after his bad luck so far. I said he was a shout for the win. He's currently leading the way with about 5 corners to go. But that's nothing guaranteed at all. He's got Fisher all over him like a rash. James Neve in P3 as well. This could be anyone's race for the podium. This could be anyone's race for the top 5. We've got McEwen currently ahead of Delmont just here. Again, are we going to have the Excite cars? Which, given each other a draft, obviously we've got that lap car down there as well. Not sure how that fares in BSR when it comes to sportsmanship. I think have at it. It's all fair in love and war. You've got then... Kip could do anything I'm hearing in my ear. I mean, that's accurate to be sure. Lars Fischer takes the lead into Ascari. We'll see how that shakes out in the game of slipstream chess. And it's quite a big gap he gets through that run as well. It's 3 tenths as we're charging down to the Parabolica for the final time. You can see Luke Cooper there, the loneliest man in BSR right now. And then you've got Delmont and Cooper. It looks like we've had a mistake from Jason Cooper, but it's now a 2-horse race for P5, and it's our title protagonist as they head through the Parabolica for the final time. You've got Fisher, you've got Smith, you've got Neve. Oh, it looks like, I thought they was going to cross. I thought there wasn't the room there at all. As they're charging down to line, it looks like Lars Fischer will win race 3 here of the BSR MX5. Sam Smith, oh, will it? Have I spoke too soon? I don't know. If Fischer does win, I think the start-finish line's a little bit further back here at Monza. Lars Fischer gets the win by less than a tenth. James Neve in P3. Cooper 4th. Delmont gets P5 ahead of McEwen again. 200ths of a second. Oh, as it looks like there's an incident after the start-finish line just there for Michael Seal. McNally 7th, Pullen 8th, Griffiths 9th. Seal still classified 10th, even though he crashes over the line. Bulliford 11th. Siddons win in P12. Siddons wins AM as well. Great win there for Fiona in the AM category. Luke Pullen didn't mention it at all. We were too busy looking at the front. He wins Pro-Am just there as well. With Schroer dropping down to P13. 14th Ben Humberston, 15th Colin Sampson just there. Whereas I think I've gone through most of my orange juice there from right between race 2 and 3. We'll be heading to cameras. We'll be heading back to the studio in just a moment. And then we're going to have our spinning wheel of fortune for the final time tonight already. Blink and you'll miss it, Tyler. Wow. What a night of racing so far.
I need to get more eyes or more monitors. I need to see all of this action. This has been going up and down, and it is for all classes. So Pro-Am, and Am drivers are all battling it out with one another, and it's just amazing to see all this. So let's go to the wheel to see out race 4, who's going to be where.
Right, the wheel spins on away. It's going to be a short one. It's going to be P10. I'm looking across at my timing screen, and I think I know who that's going to be. We'll wait until we get the official results just in to see that just there. As it say, it can and does change from time to time. But yeah, a 10-car reverse grid, same as what we had for race 2. A little bit smaller. Competitors from race 3 that were near the front will be glad of that. The drivers that were potentially a bit unlucky will probably be kicking themselves for that one a touch. Wow, though, Tyler, it's been a great night of action so far, and you know, big title fights. It's great to see. You know, we're halfway through the championship, and you do start to look at the championship picture with this. I'm sure we'll get some stats before the start of race 4, but it's great to see the title protagonists duking it out on track, wheel to wheel, and keeping it clean. You know what, Adam Delmont and Andy McEwen, I don't even think I saw them rub doors at any point. They've been so well behaved so far, and it's steaming towards the halfway point of this championship.
My goodness, are you seeing the same race? Everybody's been banging doors.
They've not been banging doors too badly. They've been keeping it on the track at least, so they've not been banging doors too rudely at least. But it's great to see the Mazdas, and I love watching these Mazdas. Nothing to take away from the TCRs on a Thursday night at all, but seeing these cars, they really move around on track. You can see them wiggling under braking as the weight transfers. You can see them darting around side by side, sideways, almost like an episode of Tokyo Drift through Ascari. It's great. It's entertaining action to run. I'm going to be gutted to miss next week. I'll be in Belgium this time next week. So I'll probably be sat in a bar trying to get 4G signal furiously to tune in and see what job we do. I'm sure with me not being here next week, Tyler, you might very well get roped in for a second week running. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, incredible action so far.
I'm enjoying it as much as I can right now. I think I might explode. Goodness, it has just been a fantastic evening with all these Mazdas. I think I prefer them over GT3s. All these actions going on tonight.
It's been, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, because the cars are a little bit slower, the drivers get a bit more of a reaction time. The cars move around a bit more because they've not got the aero as well. And it's just really exciting to see the closer racing that you get. Sometimes with the quicker cars, like the GT3s that you mentioned, the racing's not actually that close. But we've got the stats now. We've got the standings. So, Lars Fischer winning race 3. We've got Smith in P2, and then James Neve ran out our podium in third place for Team Year 1. We've got the full results, so we can confirm Luke Cooper finished P4, Delmont 5th, McEwen 6th, so championship leader ahead of championship 2nd place, McNally in P7, Pullen 8th, Seal in 9th, and then Jamie Gulliford at Pro-Am. He'll be our reverse grid pole position in P10. As we roll on down the order, it's Fiona Siddons in 11th, Humberston 12th, Sansom 13th with Mark Oliver in P14. You've then got Leon Jenkins in P15. Tom Griffiths, we saw him cross the line in third place. Again, he went over the instant point limit, and that gives him a 40-second time penalty, and that puts him all the way down in P16. We've got Chris Dixon 17th, and Julian Stewart, we've mentioned about time penalties as well. He again went over the 15-point instant limit. He was P18 with Craig Shill P19. Again, a time penalty for him. And Jason Cooper in P20. A complete disaster for him. He's going to have no help from the reverse grid. He'll be starting race number 4 in P22 as well. As we've got the last few classified finishers, it's Douglas Stewart in P21. Kip Stevens in 22. Before Liam Silson and Nick Clibbons round it out. We saw Clibbons hit the wall very hard there too. Wow. We're going to take a short break just here. I'm being told, wait here. We might even have an interview. Oh, no, we've not got an interview. That's me having misleading information from production. If possible, blame the person that's not got a live mic in the broadcast. That's some commentary tips for you right there, Tyler. But we're going to take a short break for a minute or two. We're going to refresh. We're going to be here for the finale of this evening's action for race 4. Once again, though, do say hello in the chat, guys. Remember to like, remember to subscribe as well. Catch the action, not just on Tuesday nights, but Thursday nights too. But don't go anywhere. It'll be time for a short break right now.
So welcome back to BSR MX5. We have race 4 coming up quite shortly, but we decided that we should give you a bit of a rundown on the championship order because it is heated here in Monza, as there's so much drama going on, there's so much switching and going back and forth. So let's see. Adam Delmont is still currently leading ahead of McEwen with 15,062 points. And we have Jason Cooper just behind with Tom Griffins, Nick Clibbins, and Jamie Gilvert, who I believe is the Pro-Am leader. That's right, yes. And we have Michael Seal, James Neve, and Anne McNally, and finally James J. Smith for the final 10th position. So let's see how everything has been going on for McNally, because he is an incredible driver, but today he has not been getting the greatest of luck. Currently, right now, he is 9th in the championship with 1,099 points. And he only has one win to his name, but he has been very consistent in getting podiums. But he has 3 DNFs to that. And that is unfortunately to his injury. So we will give him a quick break on that. But it's been quite an unfortunate session for him this evening, as he has not been doing great. He's getting all the bad luck in the world for him tonight. So let's have a quick look back at the calendar, as we'll see what's up for next time. So Knockhill will be our next round after we finish here in Monza, and we'll head to Allen Park for round 7, and then Donington Park, Silverstone, and Brands Hatch for the final round of BSR Mazda. So it's been an incredible night here today, with Monza being the only British track that's not on the calendar. So what do you been thinking about there, Reese? It's been an incredible day.
It's been truly incredible. We're off to Knockhill, which is almost the second foreign round. We're up to Scotland next week. But wow, these guys have put on a real show. It's going to be difficult to choose who's going to be our BSR driver of the day. We'll be heading over to the grid. We've got about 20 seconds to go. I've asked you for predictions before. I'm not even going to put you on the spot for this one, Tyler. I think the prediction is going to be that we're going to have action. From start to finish, I'm going to be hoarse by the end of it. It's going to be great. We've got 10 seconds before we head on over to the grid. Let's go. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what the atmospheric conditions are. I know we've had a few dusky races. We've had a good night race as well so far. So we'll see what the lighting conditions are as we head to the grid right now. And I'm having word on the ground. So we've got the Team Year 1 weather blimp up there, and they're telling us that it's really sunny. And why should I worry about it being late at night? But here is our grid right here for us. I'm hoping it's just going to come up on our screen just now. Hopefully we can get some graphics, and here we are. So, I can see that in pole position. Just waiting for it to load on up just there. So we've got Jamie Gulliford on pole. We've got some dodgy graphics going on. Not everyone's driving for the right team, but we've got the right names in the right places, so we'll go for it. So it's Seal in second, Pullen third, McNally fourth, McEwen P5, Delmont P6th, Neve 7th, Smith 8th, Fish at 9th, and then Fiona Siddons rounding out our top 10 just there, which I'm not sure is 100% correct. We've got about 15 seconds to go, and then it's Humbleston, Stanson, Oliver, Jenkins, Griffiths, Dixon, Schill, Cooper, Stewart, and Stevens. And then, yeah, so we've got some dodgy graphics going on. We're going to completely ignore those. We'll just see what order they come out of turn 1 in, and we'll call it from there. The lights are out. The final time this evening, Jamie Gulliford will take us away from pole position. He's got the 57 car, his teammate behind him. A puff of smoke lights up from all the rear tyres of our Mazdas just here as we're charging on down to the first chicane. It's a great start from Jamie Gulliford. Hopefully he's not falling the same way of Douglas Stewart with the penalty just there. And you've got Year 1 team 1, 2 and 3 right now. Then you've got the 78 of Delmont on the inside. McEwen around the outside in turn 1 just there. But it is Team Year 1, Team Year 1, Team Year 1. You can hear a few crunches of maybe a little bit of bumping, but it looks like everybody's made it through fairly unscathed. 4 Year 1 cars out the front. we've definitely got the numbers right here. Then you've got the two Team Excite cars in 5th and 6th place running with them. Just as we're charging on down to the second screen. Second chicane. I'm just waiting on some timing screens to come on up just there for us, Tyler. All clean so far in our final race of the night.
Ooh. You'll see it almost lost control of his car getting into the second chicane. But they... Oh! Bigger spins in the background! Huge! Huge! In the background. Lots of action in the background. You are correct there, Reese. Now we get it all here in Monza. My goodness, that was a massive crash. And even more drama as we leave here. Jenkins and Jason Cooper are in it together. That is terrible for any of those two for that to be.
Jason Cooper, he'll be out of the race just there. It looks like Liam Jenkins involved in that one as well. Jamie Gulliford, our pole sitter, he started first. He's now showing on my timing screens at least in P90. In fact, he's shown us toe to the pits. He's out of the race. It's been absolute carnage. McEwen is leading, a man who's been oh so close in race 2 and 3 when it comes to fighting with Adam Delmont. He's currently side by side with his teammate Luke Pullen there. Delmont, though, is still right with him. We've got a 3-car breakaway at the front. Lars Fisher in 4th. Michael Seal in P5. James Neve in P6. And then Fiona Siddons, what a start she's had at race 3 winner of our AM category. And I know she's getting cheered up there. She was saying you've done Adam Fox a favour with that one. She's in P7. Sampson P8. And then it's Clibbons and Griffiths round out our top 10. As we complete that one, it's side by side with the 2 Team Year 1 cars just there. With Adam Delmont getting draft off both of them. Shoving Andy McEwen to the front of the field just here. Will he then send it through the trees, through the brakes right here? Not quite. Andy McEwen looks like a little bit later. Hopefully he gets it stopped very, very late on the brakes. Oh, that's big contact. Oh, no, that looks like... Oh, I'm so sorry, Tyler. That looks like the 2 Ennio Fungus cars right there. Fortunately, crashing on the run down to the first chicane. I can hear the agony of a team owner. Unfortunately, you're going to have to watch it again. Oh, no.
Oh, why did you have to make a replay out of this? Oh. Absolute horror for me and the team, and also for the drivers themselves. Goodness gracious. But we have to get on our way to the front of the field. Kenny McEwen still leads ahead of Adam Delmont. This is a championship battle that we're looking forward for the rest of the year. Oh my goodness, look at them go.
I think we're going to have a duel here currently for the top 2. I think they might have enough pace to break away from Luke Pullen. It actually looks like, yeah, they have dropped Luke Pullen. Now, Luke Pullen's been off the road, actually. He's dropping back. He's behind Lars Fisher. I was about to say, great job by Luke for leading the way in Pro-Am. He's still doing okay, but he's got a slowdown. I'm not sure if he's got damage or if he's just serving a slowdown there. We'll see if he gets back up to speed in just a moment. He might have a bit of damage there. In fact, he's just let Douglas Stewart by. So Douglas Stewart now leading the way in Pro-Am there. Sorry, again, my COVID cough kicking on in. It's Mark Oliver, currently in P12, by the way, leading our AM category as Kip Stevens passes Liam Silkston to make it P10. So he's breaking into the top 10 for the first on this evening. But still, at the front, McEwen versus Delmont. First versus second in the championship. On the road. This is what we want to see. This is our Verstappen versus Hamilton. This is our Verstappen versus Leclerc. I'll let the drivers make their minds up who they are. But yeah, this is definitely it. And I know they're both great for sportsmanship as you got Delmont pushing McEwen down the straight. It's a gloves off. It's a battle. It's Pacquiao versus Mayweather. All your sporting duel analogies are going to come out over the next 10 minutes of BSR racing action.
You were right about Luke Pullen, because he has gone into the pits, so he has had damage, and so he will be there for probably the rest of the race. Very unfortunate for him to be there. Look at that. Stewart is leading away ahead after Pullen has made contact and damage. Very unfortunate for him.
There are still side-by-side action there. You've got the 78 of McNally trying to get past Liam Silkston now. Plenty of fighting up and down the field. We're not sure where to look here. I can hear I can hear production saying where we're going to on cameras next, and it's darting around right now. You got the 999 there of Mark Oliver. Obviously, he had the front row start earlier in the night, and unfortunately, that resulted in contact. He's still leading the way in AM, although he's got Leon Jenkins right behind him. We actually saw Leon getting involved with Jason Cooper at the start of this race, but there's a big 5-second gap. Will Leon, maybe with some damage, be able to break down that gap to with Stewart? I'm not so sure. But hopefully we'll see some battles all the way up and down. But it's still McEwen, Delmont 1 and 2. Duking it out with Fisher back in P3, 3 seconds back. So I don't think Fisher's going to make an impression on our top two. But our top two are going to make an impression on our screens.
Yes, the top two have been absolutely perfect, pulling away from the rest of the group. As you see there, my goodness, it has just been an incredible race. As you see Chris Dixon just ahead of one of the Swift Cooper cars. He tries to battle away. Unfortunately, he will lose position, but those are different classes we have right here. And that's what makes it exciting to have
classes featuring here in MX5s. You've got your AMs, your Pro-Ams, and your Pros. Now, they all score points at the same pot, at the same pool. But really, are they competing with each other? Potentially not. And we're seeing this fight between Dixon and Luke Cooper here. Luke Cooper's actually a lap down on Chris Dixon. And not really heeding the blue flags just there. He's got a bit more pace there. I think he started the race late, actually. I don't think he's been in any accidents or any drama. He's just late to the party. But he's going to be ahead of our non-finishers. We've got a few non-finishers so far. We've got Jason Cooper, who's been off the track. We've got Glenn Humberston, Sam Smith, Jamie Culliford, and also Colin Sampson out of the race as well. So a slightly decimated grid so far. But two people that won't care how many people are running behind them. That's Andy McEwen and Adam Delmont. Still 2 cars on their own. We've then got this battle pack forming behind them of Fisher, Seal, Neve and Clibbons, with Tom Griffiths rounding those off just there. And you can see there, I don't think Delmont and McEwen are fighting too hard. I think they'll be quite happy to just P1 and P2 it as we tick these final 4 laps down and through, and then maybe figure it all out at the end. They're both two very sensible, very seasoned competitors. Tyler.
Yeah, they'll definitely not want to fight one another. They want to pull away and make it a battle between them. So that pack behind them will not, unfortunately, get closer, but they'll try their best as they have the numbers to pull each other along to catch up to these two. So it's just how fast can that pack behind with Fisher, Seal, Neve, and Clivens, and I think Griffin as well, catch Delmont and McEwen.
I don't think you want to be leading on the last lap, which is something that might be playing in McEwen's mind just here. This almost reminds me of being at the Olympics and seeing the team pursuits for the cyclists. You've got 2 packs of cyclists right here running against each other. They might not be side by side on the track, but they're basically time trialing away against each other. That being said, we've just seen Fisher, Seal and Neve on our timing screens lose a bit more ground. I think they've gone too wide through the first chicane. And that's just cost them another second, so it's now 4.3 seconds back. And the bigger that gap grows, the more we might see McEwen and Delmont decide that they're going to actually duke it out. We've got a great view here as we see them bouncing over the curb. I love the cars going 2 wheels over the chicane. They dip a wheel into the gravel, doesn't seem to slow the Masters down too much. Through the tight right-hander, you want to get on the curb, but you don't want to hit that inside wall, which is oh so easy to do. Up onto the AstroTurf he goes as they head down. They break at the 50-metre board with a second Lesmo, a bit quicker than the first one, a bit less tight. Again, up onto the AstroTurf. You can dip a wheel onto the gravel there if you want to. There's plenty of track out there to use. And then it's under the old banking once again, up towards Ascari. Very tricky, very fast left-right left combination. High sausage curbs as well. Will break your car, will break your race.
Lots of battling for third place, the final podium position between Fisher, Seal, and Neve. It is just incredible how close these guys are for this amount of time. So I believe at this point they've forgotten about first and are battling for the final podium, as they do. Delmont and McNeil will hopefully, and I'm hoping that they'll start battling one another towards the end.
Yep, as we go, so it's Fisher currently P3 as we start to run towards the line. I think this will be 2 laps to go now on the time street. Yes, it is. This is lap 6, just under 4 minutes to go here of our final race of the evening. It's Seal, Fisher, Neve, Clibbins and Griffiths all glued together just there. Still McEwen, Delmont, you can see them ahead. You can see the brake lights twinkling here in the late Italian evening. They're not fighting at all. They're being very, very sensible. Delmont's thinking, you know what, if I can just sit and wait and attack on that final lap, maybe on the run into the second chicane. When will he choose to go? When will he choose his moment? I'm not sure. Actually looks like Michael Seal just breaking away from Lars Fisher there. Almost 8/10 of a second the gap. It's all very tactical, very technical here. It's a different form of racing. There's a different art to it. You might be very quick as an overall lap time, but when you get a fast draft track like this, as we can see, we fearless marshals on the side of the track here, virtual or real, they are the Orange Army that allow us to go racing. Adam McNally just passing Liam Silkstone, which I think I've said already before, back into P10. I said, Danny Sucks, oh, bumping doors. I said we'd seen them being, oh no, oh no. I've just about called to go to, oh no, and then Leon Jenkins gets involved as well. Now, Leon had been running second in our AM category, but that's not going to be happening from here. He's going to lose out to Chris Dixon, I think, as well. He's very much the innocent bystander in that. And second time we've seen him getting caught up with a spinning car. No, just 2 into 1 doesn't go, fellas. As we can see them getting in door to door right here. Bang, bang, bang. And then, unfortunately, Adam McNally, we've mentioned about how unlucky he's been with his consistency so far this season pre-race 4. Just goes to show that he's just having not the rub of the green at all. Liam Silkstone, unfortunately, he's retired from the race right now. So we've currently got 15 cars left on our lead lap. It's a fight of attrition. It's still McEwen from Delmont. And then you've still got this fight now being led by Lars Fisher with the 2 Year 1 cars. Team gunning away right behind him. We've got Douglas Stewart leading our Pro-Am category right now. And then, as I say, we've got Mark Oliver leading AM. As we're on to our final lap, Tyler, talk us through it. Can we have a look, production, please? McEwen versus Delmont, they've bided their time. It's time for them to now take centre stage here on the last lap.
Oh, quite a bigger gap than what Delmont would probably want to have on this final lap. But it could be the thing that McEwen will want, but it's still close towards the end. My goodness. Oh, bit out of shape for McEwen as Delmont gets even closer now as they have to bide their time. Delmont will wait for an opportunity to pass McEwen. It is just that close. My goodness, how they will be at the end. It will probably be another photo finish like race 2.
It's Drago versus Rocky. It's Creed versus Rocky. It's anybody versus Rocky, pretty much. It's a great sporting duel. These guys, they've slugged it out. They've been patient. They've felt each other out through 7 laps of racing, 11 rounds in the ring. This is it. This is their 12th round. They're battered. They're bruised from 3 rounds. You can see McEwen snaking his way on the brakes. He's still leading into Ascari. He clips over the sausage curve just there. Oh, you see Adam Delmont actually gets 2 wheels over the inside. He's close. He's very close. He's definitely going to have an opportunity to attack. McEwen, it looks like he's sent up for the outside. He's given the inside up for Adam Delmont right here. They're side by side. It's door-to-door action. They're going to give each other hopefully enough space. Delmont slightly ahead on the way in. He gets the lead on the way into Parabolica. Will McEwen get an opportunity to cut underneath? We've seen that he's lost out on drag races before.
He's covered it.
It looks like he's going to lose out again. He's coming. He's on the outside. It looks like
They're bumping.
Oh, they're bumping. Oh, that's even, wow. That is even closer than race 2. So our provisional timing screens are telling us that Adam Delmont has won that race. It's definitely a photo finish because it's 3,000ths of a second. 3,000ths. I can actually hear, so I've got the driver's comms in my ears, actually, as I've got the iRacing session up, and I can hear disbelief in Andy McEwen's voice. He's saying, oh, well, you won then. I don't think the drivers knew as they crossed the line who was leading. Nick Clibbons gets P3, his second podium of the night. Peter Fisher and Griffiths ran out of time. Great shout out to Douglas Stewart, who's P8 right now. And then you've got Mark Oliver winning our AM category in P11. But ooh la la, Tyler, you've got signage bouncing all over the place. I really wanted to steal some signage when I was at the Formula 1 the other year from Monza, but alas, I couldn't steal a DRS board. We're heading back to the studio. We're heading back to cameras. Wow, that's all I can say. I'm going to keep saying wow, wow, wow. It's been a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant night race in the BSR. We were going to talk about driver of the day after we've done results, but I'm going to jump the gun. Part of me would like to say that Adam Delmont, despite not qualifying, and fighting his way on through to get a good starting position for race 2, and then he's had 3 really close finishes to Andy McEwen, which he's won all 3, which I'm sure Andy will be ticked off about. Adam Delmont would normally get my vote, but actually, I'm going to give it to the entire of the BSR field, because they've given us a stellar, stellar, stellar evening of excitement. And yeah, I'd say this has probably been the peak. We're at the halfway point of the championship, and this has been so far the peak of the action so far. Wowzers.
I can agree with you on there. I want to give mine to Monza itself, if that's even possible. But damn, that was incredible racing throughout this whole evening. Race 1, action. Race 2, action. Race 3, action. Race 4, whoa! What a photo finish to top it off on the net. Oh.
3,000ths of a second, the official winning margin just there. Is that going to be the closest finish we've ever seen in BSR? It's going to be up there. Shout out to Judge Traycott as well, who's just popped into the YouTube chat. He's cheering on Andy and Adam as well. But yeah, wow, what a performance these guys have put on. We'll wait for our official results to just call it through just here. I don't think anyone's fallen foul of the instance right now. But yeah, we're just waiting on iRacing just generated. Obviously, no spinning wheel, because unfortunately, and it is sad, I could do this all night. Well, maybe my vocal cords couldn't, but that was our last race of the evening. So, results just about to come up on our screens. There's going to be some virtual champagne to be sprayed. Now, the great thing is about broadcasting this live on the internet is you can give a completely unsubstantiated fact, which you've done absolutely no research for, and give it around about 20 seconds. Chaz Draycott will pop up and say, BSR had to finish less than 1,000th of a second a few years ago in the touring cars at Daytona. So there you have it. Not quite the record, probably P2. So yeah, any more facts that I decide to randomly throw out there that I've not researched, the internet will prevail. Almost 9 seconds between P2 and P3. So from a tiny gap to a big gap just there. But wow, I'm absolutely lost for words. Yeah, mighty close right there. We've got Fiona Siddons lined up for an interview as well. Are we going to do results first, or are we going to do the interview? We are going to do results just first. So, Tyler, maybe time to think of a few questions for Fiona whilst I run through the results. And here we are. So, spraying his virtual Ferrari champagne is Adam Delmont in P1. Andy McEwen, second place, with Nick Clibbons in third position. And as we head to the full standings, Lars Fisher in P4 with Tom Griffiths rounding out our top 5. James Neve in 6th with Michael Seal 7th. Confirmation, Douglas Stewart winning our Pro-Am category in P8. With Kip Stevens in 9th and Adam McNally rounding out our top 10, despite the terrible luck he seems to have had. Mark Oliver finishes P11 and takes the AM win as well. Craig Schill, he's currently in chat, calling Chaz Draker on Know It All. He finished P12, with Chris Dixon 13th. Fiona Siddons, our interviewee, will finish P14. And Liam Jenkins after a scrappy race, showing great pace, but just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, P15. He's the last car on lead lap, with Liam Silkston in 16th, Cooper 17th, Cullen 18th, and then Colin Sampson in P19 with Glenn Humston P20. And then as we run down, Jason Cooper, third place man in the championship, or as he was third place man in the championship, P21. Jamie Culliford showing P22 and Sam Smith 23rd. So a disaster for our Pro-Am leader, a disaster for third place in the championship as well there. And Sam Smith, he's had some great results tonight. He's also had some terrible results tonight as well. A real hit and miss night for him here in the BSR MX5. I think called it the TCR. Obviously, we will be going round Monza again in the touring cars on Thursday. Same place, same time, 8 o'clock. But before we go anywhere, we're at the halfway point in the championship. We'll have Fiona Siddons join us in just a second. Not sure if she's hear us just yet or if she's jumped in at all.
Fiona,
There we are.
it has been an incredible race, ain't it?
Yeah, it's been a decent night. It's been fun, that. The draft's massive in these MX5s.
Absolutely. It has been one of a thrilling nights that we can remember. And I believe that it's been a successful night for you, getting a class win in one of the races, yes?
Yeah, I got a class win in one of the races, and I think I'm P2 overall in the AM class for the 4 races.
Excellent. Well,
That's
congratulations on the win just there. Did you find, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to see because we had so much action to follow. When it comes to final laps, did you find it was better to be in the lead as the final lap started ahead of other cars, or did you find it was better to be the attacker?
I think it's better being behind because you get the toe into the last corner.
And there we are. So, is that a new cap, by the way, as well?
It is. Team Year 1.
There we are, a little bit. Because, you know, by running the broadcast, by me wearing a T-shirt, we've not quite had enough advertising going on tonight. So Fiona also wearing a cap too as well. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Are you looking forward to Knock Hill? Have you done any laps around there yet in the MX5?
Not this season, but last season we did it there, and yeah, it's mega track.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing you bouncing over those curbs just there as well. A quick question as well for you is regarding the Tuesday and the Thursday series. Obviously, you take part in both. Do you find that any of the learning you do from a Tuesday in the MX5, do you find that helps you out in the touring cars on a Thursday?
Not really. The touring car's that much faster. It doesn't transfer over that much.
Okay, well, excellent. Well, thank you very much for jumping in and joining us for an interview. As always, any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, you guys and Graham in the background doing the camera work, and my son who'll most likely be watching as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Fiona. Thank you for popping in for an interview as well. And thank you for being involved. It's a lot easier to do a broadcast when we've got drivers like yourself who are willing to pop in for an interview. So if anyone is watching, they think, you know what, I'd like to get involved and jump on for a shout, all you need is a working webcam or even a phone, and you can jump on in and have a chat with myself, Tyler, or Jack and Dan as well, part of the Year 1 commentary team after our races. So that is the end of our racing so far. We'll have one final look at the championship standings right here. So Adam Delmont, just about, not by a lot, by about 10-15 points or so, stretches his lead tonight. This time it's Andy McEwen who's P2 in the championship. He was third going into tonight's races. We've then got Tom Griffiths in P3 and Nick Livingston in fourth. Jason Cooper, second place at the start of the night. It's P5 now. How quickly things can turn. He might very well be taking Monza as a drop week by the time that that's over. Jamie Gulliford, bad luck in race 4, but he's still leading the way in Pro-Am quite comfortably. And then it's Michael Seal in P7, James Neave P8, Adam Nally P9. We saw him have a mixed bag. And then Kip Stevens, we saw him there or thereabouts with the top 10 all night. He's there or thereabouts top 10 in the championship too. He's P10 just there. Running on through nice and quickly then. We've got Sam Smith 11th, Douglas Stewart 12th, Lars Fisher P13, Adam Fox still just about leading the way in AM. He's P14, Craig McDonald 15th, and then Fiona Siddons now second place overall in our AM category. She's P16. Obviously, we've just spoke to her interview. She's only 95 points behind Adam Fox. Again, not counting any drop weeks. She's a point ahead of Paul Cook in P17. And Luke Cooper in P18. And then it's Oliver and Jenkins 19th and 20th. Lee Holmes 21st. Craig Schill 22nd. Julian Schroer P23. Dixon 24th. Tuller 25th. Warner 26th. Humberstone P27. And then it's Sampson, Stimpson and Pullen rounding out our top 30. And then our last 5 point scorers of the championship, it's Silkston, Hatcher, Van Dalen, Douglas, and rounding us out is Simon Robson just there as well. Before I bid you farewell, we'll have a quick look at the calendar. And I think we've got one final interview as well. So we've already ticked off at the halfway point in the season, Donington Park National, Brands Hatch, Silverstone, Snetterton, and tonight, Monza. Next week, we're off to Bonnie Scotland. It's time to go to Knockhill. I'm definitely going to get cancelled for that. And then it's Alton Park for round 7, Donington Park round 8, Silverstone round 9, and then finishing off at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit for round 10. And last, but certainly not least, hello, Andy McEwen.
Hello. Helps if I turn the microphone on as well, doesn't it? How are you doing, guys?
Well, I don't know about you, but we're exhausted. That was absolutely spellbinding. We saw it being set up in that final race that you and Adam Delmont, you were running line of stern, he was pushing, he was bumping, you were just breaking away from the cars behind. We knew it was going to be a blockbuster for the final lap. And wow, you guys didn't disappoint on the run down to Parabolica there. Not quite the closest finish in BSR history, but wow. You know what? Talk us through it from, exit Ascari. What was going through your mind?
Well, I mean, I'd been sort of thinking about it for the last, 14 and a half minutes because I knew what he was doing. Obviously, it's not in Adam's nature to help someone from another team unless it's going to benefit him, which is fair enough. So he was pushing me, and I knew he was just teeing me up for the last lap. And we'd obviously had two really close finishes in the previous two races, and both times he'd gone past me into the Parabolica on the inside, and I tried to go around the outside of him and keep the momentum up. So I thought this time I'll let him have the inside and I'll get the switch back. And he knew that was coming. So he managed to cover the inside on the exit. I went to the outside. We touched slightly, and I think that just drug him back a little bit, but not quite enough. And it was that close that it confused iRacing, because on Adam's screen, it was telling him that he finished behind me. So it was that close. But yeah, some brilliant racing with Adam tonight. I mean, squeaky clean, really, between the two of us. And hopefully that carries on for the rest of the season.
You guys are great. Obviously, P1 and 2 in the championship as well. So really blockbuster stuff. I actually heard you. I'd got my iRacing comms running in the background. And I actually heard you saying at the end, I think you've won. The disbelief in your voice just, wow. As I really enjoyed it. And you've done really well tonight, actually. Some very consistent finishes. Obviously, winning race 1 as well. That seems like a lifetime ago, actually. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
I asked Fiona the same question, actually. Do you find we get any carryover from MX5s into TCRs when it comes to experience, obviously following the same calendar?
Not really, to be honest. They're such fundamentally different cars. The MX5 is rear-wheel drive, TCR's front-wheel drive. And the MX5 is so much lighter. It's so much more sort of twitchy. And with the MX5s, the slipstream is so powerful. I expect the slipstream to be powerful on Thursday, but not like we see in the MX5. So, I mean, you learn the track to an extent. You learn some things like, track limits and slowdowns, how much you can get away with cutting some of the chicanes here, for example. You can actually get quite far over the inside apex at a couple of the chicanes. And so that's useful stuff to know. But no, it's actually quite hard, I find, to sort of disconnect the MX5 bit of my brain and then reset for TCR. And I have to put in because the car's just so fundamentally different.
Excellent. Well, we've got your stats up on screen, and you've got a 20% win percentage so far this season. And I'm not going to do the maths on that. It's about 45% podium percentage as well. A really, really strong showing so far. Obviously, a couple of DNFs along the way. I don't know Adam's stats actually, but how do you think you fare when it comes to drop weeks versus him?
That's interesting, actually. I was looking into that last week. I think he's had more penalties than me, which will ultimately play into my hands because you can't drop a week where you receive a penalty. I have, touch wood, avoided penalties, which is kind of that's something I really prioritise. So I think he will probably end up dropping more because he's going to have to drop better weeks, if that makes sense, because he's limited on the weeks that he can actually lose. So I don't know. Maths was, look, I talk for a living. I don't calculate things for a living. So I'm going to guess that I'm looking quite good, but I'll have to do the maths properly after.
So I sell stuff for a living, so equally I talk better than I do the numbers. So I've been sat here guessing them all night and being corrected by Twitch chat. Oh, sorry, YouTube chat. Actually, I think Adam's just in our YouTube chat as well, just there too. But no, it's been great. Really good having you. Have you got any questions for Andy, Tyler?
Not really. I'm just getting goosebumps having finished the race. But it's been an incredible race for you so far. Even though some of them have been really close, not but in your favor, but it's just really incredible racing.
It's my favourite kind of racing. This is what when I first saw BSR, this is what really drew me into it. You know, they always used to race on these big slipstreamy tracks, and I absolutely love it. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I love doing the NASCAR iRacing stuff at Daytona and Talladega with the draft, and it's just something I really enjoy. It can be frustrating. I know my teammates have had quite a frustrating night, a few of them, and they're kind of hating on Monza a bit at the moment, but I absolutely love it. It's a great place to race. And on that note, I really should thank my teammates as well, because when they weren't driving into me, they've actually been quite a big help tonight. So there are lots of year one cars out there. We're always going to find each other on the same bit of track from time to time, but we work really well together as a team. It's a great vibe in the Discord chat. So big thanks to them.
Excellent. Well, unfortunately, you've been pipped to the post on the racetrack tonight. I'm going to have to move you on over as well, Andy, because I think we've got Adam Delmont just about to come and join us for. And apparently I don't think he's here. No, we've not got him. Okay, I think you've beaten him on interviews at least. No. We don't need to talk about him anyway. There we are. I don't think... You know what I really like as well? Speaking to you after the race, and hopefully we will get opportunity to speak to Adam as well. Maybe, hopefully tonight, but if not, later in the season, is that despite you guys obviously going toe-to-toe for the championship, just how well-natured it seems, not just in interview, but just watching you guys, driving side-by-side down towards the Parabolica. There was never any question that there was going to be a dooring off. There was never going to be a question that one of you guys was going to finish in the gravel trap. And it's really wholesome to watch.
Yeah, it hasn't always been that way. I must be honest. Adam and I have had a few run-ins in the past, but I think that actually helps sometimes when you have a bit of a clash on track and, one of you's angry at the other or whatever. It's really important to try and clear the air because, me and Adam have both been racing in this for a while now, and we're probably going to continue racing together for a while. So it's quite important to clear the air and sort of, learn to respect each other on the track, which we really do now. Actually, it's probably the most fun I have is racing against Adam because I know it's going to be right to the limit of what you can get away with, but he doesn't often go beyond it, at least not with me anyway. So that's, it's really good fun racing with him. He just needs to let me win a few more now.
Well, there was no sign of that happening tonight. Again, I'm absolutely speechless. I'm looking forward to, I might do it with the sound off because I hate hearing myself back, but I might watch that final lap back through the YouTube broadcast, just see how close it was. Because it's hard to tell, because the start-finish line's actually a bit earlier as well at Monza, isn't it, compared to where the start line is. It was interesting to see because it was just like waiting for that line to come. And just, our eyes were glued to the screen as I'm sure you were looking outside your right-hand window.
It definitely caught my attention. I'm glad you didn't have a live radio on me, though, because the words I was saying about Adam weren't quite as complimentary as we crossed the line. Just, 3 races he beat me by. I think if you combine the margins that he beat me by in races 2, 3, and 4, I don't think you'd get to a tenth of a second. It was really close, but good fun. Yeah,
I think I saw one of the races was 200ths. So you've had a 2000ths and a 200ths. I think there might have been about an 800th in there as well somewhere. But yeah,
Wow.
every time it was door to door. So yeah, you guys were doing absolutely great. I'm not sure if we are going to get Adam Delmont on here. I think it is probably time for us to start wrapping up just now. But no, thank you very much for your time, Andy. And thank you for providing some great racing as well. It's been brilliant to watch you. And say hello to your dog for me as well. Please give your dog some fuss. I'm sure they've been ignored for the last couple of hour or two. We've got Stream Dog right there. So no, thank you very much, Andy. And thank you very much, guys, for tuning in as well. So this has been Tuesday night BSR MX5s. I've been Reece Saunders. I've been fortunate enough to be joined by Tyler Manning as well. If you've not already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Come back Thursday night. We'll have some more great racing in the TCRs. But for now, that's us at year one.